And we're live before we even before we went live. We were talking about the topic and the subjects that we were going to be talking about. So I was like, let's just quit talking and actually go live before we spoil our entire conversation. So, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing all right. It's been a nice few days. Got some relaxing days in over the weekend. Watched a couple things.
Me too.
What about you?
Worked. It's weird because last week we had a 3-day vacation or 3-day work week or 3 days off because of the 4th fell on a Sunday and we took that off, which we were actually going to stay open, but last second we were like, we're so beat. Let's just take the time off. So we took the time off. Had a great 3 days with my wife and daughter and our dog, and then today is our last day. Is my last day off before I have to go back tomorrow, and it's been super relaxing. Just chilled out. We got some Jimmy John's for lunch, and then my wife made some dinner. She got this meat, and I don't know, it's like beef, but I think it was like low quality beef because we're looking at it, we're like, it doesn't look or smell that great, and it was in the freezer, but the date on it was like the 20th, so we're like, all right, let's cook it and see how it turns out, and it turned out delicious.
Good.
So hopefully it wasn't like human or anything. That would have. I've been watching a lot of like true crime podcasts. There's this one called Murder with My Husband. There's only like 60 episodes or something, but they're like 30 minutes a piece. It's about a girl who's obsessed with true crime, and her husband hates true crime. And she just tells him a tale that actually happened, and it's a really fun show. And they did a couple cannibal episodes, and I'm just like, could not imagine just like accidentally eating human. We hired a Filipino Korean kid who's a immigrant, and I was just like, hey, what's the weirdest thing that you've eaten in the Philippines? Because they eat a lot of balut,
Right.
And he was like, oh, dog. And I was like, I can't tell if you're being funny right now. Like he's like, yeah, dog's delicious. And I was like, he goes, I don't eat it a lot. He's like, last time I had it, it was by accident. He goes, it smells like lamb, but it tastes like really tender, juicy pork. And beef. And Jason's in here. What's going on, buddy?
What's going on, Jason?
Well, so I was just like, you are literally a walking stereotype. Like that's actually hilarious. And he was like, we also had to teach this kid because he doesn't know. He's fresh. He doesn't know that the N-word was a bad word. And I guess in the Philippines it's like a friendly term. And I was like, dude, no, you cannot say that here. Like you're about to go to a university for college. Like you will get beat up. He was like, oh my God, thank you so much for telling me. I was like, dude, he's a tiny kid. He's so funny.
He must have just moved here then.
He moved here. He was supposed to go to school last year, so he moved to the U.S. He's like 19, so he just graduated high school, and he came over here for college, and then COVID hit. So he was going to college in Florida, and his only relatives here are my friend's family. So he moved in with them. And he's been stuck here ever since, and he needs a job. So we hired him, and he just washes dishes and, just like sweeps and stuff. And he's super fast. He's a super fast worker, really hard worker. Really funny. He looks just like Mario Lopez. So we just call him Mario. And he's like, should I be calling you Mario? You're the WAP. And I'm like, I like you. This is awesome. So tonight we're talking about the Shaw Brothers announcements, which is probably the biggest thing that we're going to be talking about. But before we get into that, Ryan, what have you been watching this last week?
Well, funny enough, that is, you brought up two of the perfect segues into what I watched this week. The first one is a story about immigrants. I was hurting real bad on my foot last week, so I was lazy, didn't want to come down to my movie room to pick up a disc. So we watched a couple streaming only movies that I've been wanting to see. So I put on His House. It's a Netflix exclusive at the moment. It's was made by the BBC. It's about a couple immigrants that come over from Africa to the UK, and they lose their daughter as they're crossing the sea to get over to the UK, and they end up getting haunted in this house that they're issued while they wait for their refugee papers. And it is this harrowing story of them just going through it day to day and how it changes both of them. And it was super well acted. It was very earnest. It was really good and really nice to see the actual the things that they call out in the immigration system that are just flawed, and the ways that we treat people inherently. The other one that you brought up, cannibalism. The other movie I watched last night was Babysitter Wanted. Had never heard of it until recently. I got the Blu-ray, and it is a story of somebody that moves to a college town in Northern California and gets called out to babysit for this like farmer's son while they go out. And while she's babysitting this kid on the first night, all of a sudden she starts to hear noises like there's somebody there, and somebody literally breaks through the door, and they're trying to look through the house to see if they can find the kid or her. And he ends up going after this kid that she's babysitting, and he always wears this cowboy hat, and it ends up falling off of his head. And while it falls off of his head, you discover that he has literally like devil horns growing out of his head.
Oh, I think I've seen a trailer for this.
Dude, the movie ended up crazy, but the kid was eating food that it was literally like human meat. I think they don't ever actually say, but man, that was a crazy movie. Bill Moseley's in that from Texas Chainsaw 2, Chop Top. He is amazing.
Weird how you say Bill Moseley from Texas Chainsaw 2, because I would not be like, oh, that's Bill Moseley's star role. House of a Thousand Corpses is Bill Moseley.
That's true. However, I've met Moseley twice, and
is he nice?
He is extremely. He is probably one of the nicest people I've met. Either him or Tom Savini. And
that's good to hear.
Yeah,
that's really good to hear.
Both of them are amazing. The only other one that I'd call out that I watched, I've been watching that Fear Street series coming out on Netflix. It's pretty good, but the big surprise for me this week is I watched 1999's Ravenous with Guy Pearce, and the cast in that movie is amazing. But the biggest thing is the story is so damn unique. It's a period horror drama that goes into resurrection, and it's so good. Jason asked if that last one was on Netflix. I don't believe it's on Netflix. I don't think it's streaming anywhere. I had to find it online, and to find that Blu-ray, that was a crazy one to try to find. Babysitter Wanted, but Ravenous has a Blu-ray out from Scream Factory. That one is great. It's always super cheap. That gets totally slept on. Fantastic movie. What have you been watching?
Well, let's start off with the good before we move into the bad, and then the ugly. Vengeance Trails. I kind of tied that in with the Western theme.
Western's nice.
Last week I had just watched the first movie. I finished it, did a review. I think it's the best box set Arrow's put out this year. It's absolutely fantastic. I see people, Brian and I were talking about this on off air, but they messed up with the little pictures right there, the characters from the movies. Not a big deal. If that's literally your make or break, then I just think you're I think you should. I think there's worse things to be worried about. And the most important thing is if the movie looks good and sounds good, and all of the movies in this box set look and sound incredible. Special features are incredible. I think my biggest complaint is that it's so plain everywhere else. Like, that's not that big of a deal. I didn't even notice until someone pointed it out. They were like, is yours like this? And I was like, oh, yeah, it is. Crap. Oh, well, not a big deal. Because if you display your movies like this, there's something wrong with you.
You should probably get that checked out.
This. Yeah, you should get that checked out. So that is the good. Another good thing I watched was The Young Master. Finally sat down and rewatched this, and just forgot how fun it was. The story sucks. I like. Here's the thing: is because I think this is Golden Harvest. I could be wrong. I think it is Golden Harvest. But the problem with these martial arts films that aren't Shaw Brothers is that Shaw Brothers had a studio and had a lot, and they had sets that they could build, and their movies have like a character to them.
Right.
A lot of these other movies, like from other companies, are just filmed outside, and I feel like they kind of have to tailor the plot around what they were able to do. So the plot's lacking, but man, the fight choreography is so good. And this is actually directed by Jackie Chan himself. So he does a really damn good job. I think the artwork is just incredible. Kung Fu Bob nailed it. The little dancing dragon sequence at the very beginning, and then the final fight at the end is just superb. Highly recommend it. And then we're getting into the bad, and Jason might not like to hear this because he got an extra copy from me. But Snake and Eagle Shadow. So this is same director. Jackie Chan and the director eventually made Drunken Master. And you can see a lot of Drunken Master in this movie, but it's not Drunken Master. Drunken Master is Incredible. How's the booklet in this one? The booklet in the special edition is actually insanely good. I think this is my favorite piece of art that Kung Fu Bob O'Brien's ever done. Right there, it's just gorgeous. But yeah, it is a indicator level of quality on this book. You have the old like classic posters. You get nice essays, a lot of behind the scenes footage. I think this booklet is incredible, and for a movie that I'm not like terribly hot on. I don't hate it. I think it's very good. I think I gave it 3.5 stars on Letterboxd. It's the booklet's I think better than the book. I mean, better than the movie.
Well, you nailed it with what you said on those movies, because a lot of them, they like with that one specifically, I believe he choreographed a lot of the fighting and then said, let's build a story around it. And with a lot of the Shaw Brothers things, it was, we actually have a story, we actually have choreographers, we've got everything we can to make this a story-driven movie with martial arts, rather than here's martial arts and we're going to talk about this random, clan fighting in the background or something.
And also what I love about that is that you could tell that because they didn't have those resources, they put a lot of effort to make those fights stand out.
Yep.
And the guy that Jackie fights at the end is he mostly fights with his legs. And the stuff that they do with his legs is just incredible. Like the way he strikes is it's so good. But this movie, one, I love the artwork. The artwork's incredible. And I think if you're even remotely interested in collecting this stuff, you should pick this up because it's only available till the end of the year. After this year's over, they're not going to put it out anymore. And it's actually got a pretty substantial amount of special features. Comes with a full-size poster of the artwork, 4 collectible art cards. You get 2 different commentaries. One with Kung Fu Bob and actor/stuntman John Kreng. So it's a really nice package. But like I said, the movie's not very good. It's just not my thing. I'm more of a Rosemary's Baby, Omen, Invasion of Body Snatchers, and The Exorcist Alien thing, Jaws kind of guy. Yeah, so that's probably Ryan. Ryan's more the horror guy. I'm more of the Asian and spaghetti western guy. And the last movie I watched this week, and I just watched it last night, and it's so disappointing, is Memories of a Murder. Not the movie. The movie's great. I think the movie is one of the best South Korean movies of all time. What Criterion did to this is just asinine. I don't understand what they were thinking putting this green tint. One, the movie's already very dark. If you've seen this movie, a lot of it takes place at night. And there was parts where my wife was like kind of watching, like, because she was reading a book, and I was like, babe, look, like something cool is going to happen. And she would look and she's like, I can't even tell what's happening because it's so dark, plus the green tint. I didn't know that. Did you know that they caught the killer that this is based on?
No, I never heard that.
You've seen this, right?
I've never seen Memories of Murder. I've read about it. I've read the actual story countless times. I've waited for a good release, and Criterion announced it, and I waited for the reviews specifically for this reason.
Not good.
And I still don't have a good one to buy.
Can I spoil the movie for you?
Oh yeah, I'll forget by then.
The end of the movie, the main cop kind of stops being a cop because a child gets killed, and it just kind of ruins everybody. And at the very end, it's him driving. He's like a salesman for some juicers, and he tells the person who's driving the car to stop, and he goes and he looks at the drain where the first body was found. And this little girl appears, and she goes, "Hey, what are you doing?" And she's like, "Oh, I used to work, and something happened here." And she goes, "That's what the last guy said." And he's like, "What last guy?" And she goes, "A guy came here not that long ago, and he said the same thing." And then he's just looking at the little girl, and then he just looks directly into the camera, like he's staring at the killer in the audience. And the killer actually commented on that because he saw the movie, and he said he didn't feel anything. He said that he just saw it as a film. He didn't have any emotional things to it. It was South Korea's first serial killer, 1988 to 1991, I think, is what happened. And they didn't catch him until like maybe 3 or 4 years ago. But he's behind bars, life sentence. But just creepy because I had heard it's based on a true story. So after the movie was over, I was like, I want to see if there's any updates, and they caught the guy.
Right.
And he actually saw the movie, which is wild to me that he saw the film. But do you want to talk about the big news?
Let's do it.
So let's go ahead and share my screen here. This is one of the things that I've been most anticipating. So Shawscope Volume 1, 100, and I think with shipping from Diabolic, it's like 137 or something. I had actually only paid, I think I only paid like 118. But we get King Boxer, which is Five Fingers of Death, which I think is a classic film. And if you've seen, have you ever seen Five Fingers of Death?
That one I believe I have. I always get, unfortunately, with a lot of these, I'm going to get the titles mixed up in my mind because it's been so long.
So in Kill Bill where the bride goes to fight Verdun, and it goes, that is from that film. So like he took that, took that right from the film. You get the Boxer of Shantung, you get the Five Shaolin Masters, and its prequel Shaolin Temple, and then you get the Mighty Peking Man, which I'm going to talk about this briefly here. Challenge of the Masters, Executioners from Shaolin, Chinatown Kid, which is a big deal because that movie's always had issues when it comes to the States. So the fact that it's there, and assuming it's going to be uncensored and it's going to be a really good transfer, it's going to look great. And then the big ones, the ones that I feel like
most people know.
Yeah, like I was saying last night on a stream. I feel like with Shaw films, with Kung Fu films, but especially Shaw Brothers, there's the S tier films, and not in quality wise, just S tier. Everybody's heard from them. They're part of the pop culture lexicon. Even if you're not severely interested in Kung Fu films, you have heard of the five. You've heard of the Five Deadly Venoms, Crippled Avengers, which is the sequel, Heroes of the East, and Dirty Ho, which is awesome. So those four right there are like S tier films, in my opinion. King Boxer and Boxers and Chinatown Kid, I would say, are like A tier, and then the rest are like kind of deep cuts, except for Mighty Peking Man, which I feel like is not a good. It's not a good film, and it's weird that they included it with this set. Will Space Runaway Idion? I can't say. So, I mean, I know the answer to that, but I can't say. But so, have you ever seen Mighty Peking Man?
That one, no. I'm 100% sure I've not.
It is a terrible ripoff of King Kong, like terrible. It is not good, and honestly, I've seen some people say this, and I kind of agree with it, that it sucks that that's kind of in there because as a genre, Kung Fu and martial arts films get kind of looked down upon for being silly.
Absolutely.
Even though they're very, I think the movies in the set, besides Dirty Ho, are not comedies, and including Mighty Peking Man just kind of cements that thing that people think is that these are just silly movies, they're not serious. It's not a good movie. It's the only one out of this bunch though. So 11 out of 12 films that 88 Films has put out. So that's actually quite a bit. You're getting 11 new movies exclusive to Blu-ray. Right. For me, I would say 11 out of 12 of those are great, which are all of them but Mighty Peking Man, because that movie is just terrible. I don't think you understand how bad that movie is. Very disappointed that they have that in there. Now, as someone who doesn't know a lot about Kung Fu movies, I want to know your opinion on the box set. Do you think the price is fair for what you're getting?
I think
the design.
I think the price is more than fair. I think the amount of time and energy that they are putting into licensing this number of movies, because that's not easy, first of all, to get any box set with just that number. Not to mention, this is volume 1. So they are getting a huge number of Shaw experts and historical people involved in this, and it's going to be huge across both of them. That being said, yes, the amount of work that it takes to rescan most of these, because most of them are getting a brand new 2K scan, correct?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so half of them are getting a brand new scan, and then the other half are older 1080p scans. Either way, they're all going to be in HD, and probably looking better than ever. They're getting the longer international cut of Chinatown Kid, which is a big deal, like you said. Beyond that, we are getting the original lossless mono Mandarin. That's a pretty big deal as well. And newly translated subtitles for all of them. All of that takes a lot of money, takes a lot of work. And the fact that we're getting literally like a day a day's worth of movies for less than $140 shipped is
and
a
that doesn't
big
even
deal.
include the special features.
Right.
Like, you're probably gonna. I mean, like I did with the Vintage Trail site, you're gonna probably get commentary on every film.
Oh yeah.
At least one, maybe two, because some of these films are significant. And you're probably going to get a bunch of like video essays.
For sure.
Arrow does a great job on. I'm just excited to have any special features with Shaw stuff because 88 Films, as much as I love them, they barely put special features on their stuff. Some of the Jackie Chan stuff has some pretty good special features, but not their Shaw stuff. But this leads us into the next point, is that 88 Films, and by the wording of this, it sounds like they're going dual region permanently.
Oh yeah, it is permanently because they have fully announced 2 different titles for sure now.
So this is apparently permanently, which blows my mind. So they're kicking things off with the Gestapo's Last Orgy, which I purposely did not share this because of that on Facebook. I did not want my personal Facebook page to be filled with Gestapo's Last Orgy. But this section right here with these certain titles they have in the background. So it says right here, after setting sail earlier this year, 88 Films has invaded many icebergs, and we will be very soon washing up on the shores of the good old US of A, bringing our eclectic taste of horror, martial arts, and generally anything forgotten and cool. We this is the part right here. We will be releasing mainly dual territory with the occasional US only release.
Yep.
So do you think just selling in the UK wasn't that profitable for them?
No, I think that there's a lot of stuff that they want to sell over there that they're literally not allowed to sell because of the BBFC.
Yes. I mean, this right here is, I mean, they can't show any animal cruelty, right?
Correct.
So this right here has like a few seconds taken out of it, which does not affect the movie. I mean, I think some people are just blowing it way out of proportion, but this is incredible.
It really is.
So I have a list of the movies in the background. So these are the movies that are in the background right here.
Human Lanterns, finally.
So from left to right, and I'll put my mouse on it. So we got Shaolin Mantis, Human Lantern. We got Legendary Weapons of China, which is awesome. We got Martial Club, Disciples of Shaolin, Chinese boxer, of course. Then right here we have Monkey Kung Fu, which got announced beforehand. We got Flying Guillotine 2, The Flag of Iron, and Hero, not Jet Li's Hero. This is 1997. This is kind of one of the later Shaw titles. This is during the whole heroic bloodshed wave that was happening. And it's a great film. This is a really fun film. So out of all of these, I do not hate a single one of these movies.
No.
And I was actually, I think I talked about this last stream and the stream before. 88 had released Flying Guillotine 1 and then Vengeful Beauty, but 2 was stuck on DVD from Dragon Dynasty. Now we're getting Flying Guillotine 2. And I think the standout besides that is Legendary Weapons of China and Human Lanterns. Human Lanterns is a weird mix of horror and kung fu. Like, it's a really cool blend. But man, I am so pumped. So we went from having 0 martial arts titles from Shaw in the States to having 22 titles in the span of 48 hours. And one of them,
another volume coming for sure.
Well, and I want to bring this up too. So about a week before the announcements, when 88 initially teased that they're having a big thing on the 10th, someone in the comments on Instagram wrote, here, let me just pull it up. They wrote something like, hey, you should, I have it right in my DMs because I have this guy named Jeff who always messages me stuff. So someone in the comments on their Instagram wrote, 36 chambers, please. Fingers crossed emoji. And 88 said, coming from Arrow Video. So expect a super edition. Hopefully they box it with Return 2, ... So when they said box set volume 2 and more, I'm going to guess 36 Chambers isn't going to be in the box set. I think it's going to be a standalone release with 2 films packaged up like they do.
Very well could be.
And then volume 2, I don't even know what could possibly be in that set. Unless they're going to, unless volume 2 is all double dipping, there's so many possibilities that they could go with.
We had clues on this before. They are most likely not double dipping.
Yeah, most likely not double dipping. because apparently they have 2 titles that are going to get standalone singles in the US, and one of them isn't confirmed, but it's on their clue list. It says 8D. I don't know what other movie starts with 8D besides 8 Diagram Pole Fighter.
Yep.
So, damn, that's exciting. That's super, super exciting.
In 1 2-day span, we got just rained on with Shaw Love.
And it's weird to me that the movie that we did have at least confirmation on, which is 36 Chambers, isn't even in the box set. It's
wasn't
not
teased,
in there.
wasn't nothing.
Nothing. We have the postcard, so we know it's coming. But god damn, is this awesome. Especially for people like me. I'm like through the roof. Like I pre-ordered instantly because I do not think that set's gonna last till December.
No, well, the only way that I could see it lasting is, first off, I don't know how many people have paid attention to this, but for some reason, and obviously it's due to quarantine, but COVID has been a boon for physical media. There are people that are buying and selling more physical media than literally ever before.
Yep.
Vinegar Syndrome, which I know the most about here, they were having print runs for their common titles, about 3,000 releases for that one title, and it would last from say it came out in February, it would last through November-ish before it would sell out, maybe even the next February. Their print runs now for some of these titles are like 8,000, and they're not even lasting 6 months. So there are the changes in some of these labels has been insanity.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like last year I thought was a great year for physical media. Right. But for specifically martial arts fans and just Hong Kong cinema fans in general, between 88, Eureka, and now Arrow, this year is incredible. I mean, Eureka's putting out, One Arm Boxer. They got Duel to the Death, I think in September. Everyone's killing it this year.
I agree.
And for the stuff I buy, very little issues with any of the discs, besides a few, but there are replacement programs. People are a little too up in arms about shit. Also, what I love is that I feel like if Zavvi never bought Arrow, people wouldn't be complaining. They would just be like, oh, okay.
Yeah. And what's funny is, I don't know if you're quoting them because that's what everybody's saying, but Zavvi did not buy Arrow. No. There is an investment group called the Hut Group that bought an investment share in Arrow. They also own an investment share in Zavvi. So the same company that invests in Zavvi also invested in Arrow. That's it.
Also, all this stuff, guys, that has been coming out this year, like even if they had control of Arrow contractually, the stuff coming out probably wouldn't even affect it for like 3 years at the most.
I'd say it's a lot less than that, but it's definitely more than 8 months at least.
And when that stuff was happening, someone, I guess, leaked Arrow's financials, and they only profited as a company $500,000.
Jeez.
So unless they're paying really good salaries, I mean that's after salaries. That's after paying the artists and everything. That doesn't seem like that much money for a company.
No,
like Arrow.
It doesn't.
So unless everyone's making fucking bank at Arrow, awesome. But hopefully this just investment from this group is just allowing them to get more rights to films. I mean, transfers cost like on average, what, $20,000?
Some of the more expensive ones are upwards of $60,000. On average, something at the bare bones level, even like a public domain title, starts at like $2,000. So for some of these other ones, $20,000 is fairly commonplace. And I mean, that makes sense. They're selling these for on average $25 to $28 a piece. Limited runs, usually 3,000 to 5,000, 28 times 5,000. They're barely covering the cost on a lot of these.
Yeah, I can't imagine Vengeance Trails is going to make a ton of money.
Normally, I would say that, but I mean, like Flex asked this question. You think they decided to print more of everything? Honestly, yes. I think that Vengeance Trails, say 4 years ago in 2017, they probably would have had a limited print run of maybe 4,000, maybe on the high end. And I think now it's probably closer to 10 or 12,000.
Really, you really think it's that much?
I think it might be.
Is that
Vengeance
why
Trails,
they're saying the number? Because they used to put it on the box.
right? I think Vengeance Trails is a bad example. Vengeance Trails is probably a little lower, probably like 6, because if it was horror, I'd say that that's definitely true. Because their horror titles sell like gangbusters.
Demons
They
sold out,
sell.
right?
Yep. On pre-order. The Demons 4K set for 1 and 2 sold out on pre-order, the limited one. They're for a title like that, I would not be surprised if their print run was like 8,000 and they sold out on pre-order.
That's amazing. That's good. I mean,
Yeah.
that's great for them.
And there's more people importing than ever before. That's a big boon for this. But for something like Shaw, it's a risk and it's a high reward thing, because it's 100. Well, just to make it even, we'll say it's $130 a piece, and this is a dual region release. So this actually probably does have a print run of 10 to 12,000.
Yep.
And they're probably going to sell out completely all of their limited editions in both regions fairly quickly. If it lasts till December, I would be surprised. Now, the big risk here, they're not known for martial arts, so maybe Arrow fans are just not going to gravitate towards
I saw that. I saw a lot of people in the comments, almost no negative comments, just a few people being like, a couple people being like, "Oh, I don't want all those movies. I just want one. Can you print a single?" It's like,
right.
I get that, but a lot of people were like, "Who? What?" And I think you're right. Arrow fans are mainly horror fans because that's what they started off as. So it's gonna be, but I feel like Shaw Brothers fans, I feel like martial arts fans are like, they're dedicated, they're diehards. So I think that thing is going to sell out. Like I don't see that thing staying in print into 2022. I think it'll sell out before.
Yeah, for sure. And Flex asked, is it because they're selling more, or they're making more to get more profit? I mean, those kind of go hand in hand. If they can sell more, they're going to make more profit, period. That's how it works. But they're not going to print more and not sell more. Otherwise, they'd literally be losing money. So yeah, they're definitely not doing that in the hopes that they don't sell them, of course. And the reason I can answer that so confidently is because 85% of their boxes are selling out before the release date right now.
And also, I want to make a note. Someone who used to run a record label, and we did actual physical vinyl pressings of stuff. The more you printed, the cheaper per unit was. So if, let's say, I mean, if they're selling these, let's say how much is Vengeance Trail at retail? 80?
I think it was $72.99 after the wholesale prices and all that. So probably 80 to 90-ish. Yeah.
So the MSRP is 80. Let's just say 80. They're probably selling it to retailers for 40, 50, and then
50
the retailers
probably
are selling it to you for 60 to 70 bucks. So I can't imagine them
Vengeance Trail's MSRP is 100.
What? Whoa. I mean, that's 5 movies. That's what?
Isn't it only 4 movies?
Oh yeah, sorry, it's 4 movies. And God Said the Cane is longer, so Sideways, I was like, oh, 5 movies. Yeah, 4 movies. I mean, that's still decent, because if you do a single release, I would say average $25 from Arrow.
Right.
But
this shows the difference too, because that is 4 movies, and all of them have tons of features. I mean, every single one has a commentary, like you said.
Yep.
They all have things that you can actually invest your time into. But then the other box set that you just got done watching, the Years of Lead set, this is where you're going to get what? Because how many movies were in that? 5, right?
5 movies, 3 discs.
But it was not hardly any special features in there. How much do you think MSRP is on that?
Well, damn, now that you're saying what, I'm going to say 80?
It's 100 as well.
Ooh. Yeah, that's not. I don't think it's worth $100.
No, not at all.
That's insane to me.
Especially right now on Amazon, it's $50 because of the Barnes and Noble sale, so they're price matching.
I got a message from the guy who owns Cinema Classics. Daimajin Trilogy has been pushed back.
Ooh.
By by 1 week. So
Oh, that's no big
please,
deal.
it says, please note we are moving Arrow's videos Daimajin trilogy back 1 week to August 3rd. So
Could be worse.
could be a lot worse. I'm a little disappointed though because I'm hoping that doesn't sell. I feel like that's going to sell out too.
I don't think they have the draw there with like they do with Shaw.
I don't know. After Gamera, they seem to have a really good deal with Daiei. Like they're just putting out a bunch of Daiei stuff and stuff I didn't even realize was Daiei. Like the Invisible Man double feature that they put out earlier was a Daiei film. Was 2 Daiei films. So I'm hoping they get like Sleepy Eyes of Death. Is that a tokusatsu? Yeah, it is a tokusatsu, but it's a weird. It's not. It's about a god. It's about a like stone god who comes to life. So you can't really say it's a kaiju because he's not a big monster. He's a big stone god, but it's also a period piece, and it's got samurais in it. So it's just a weird. And a lot of the guys who directed those movies, there's only 3. All of them have directed samurai movies. Like the first one is directed by the guy who did a handful of the Zatoichi films. So it's a really cool concept. It eventually got a TV show a couple years ago, which is not very good. But the movies are great. I would say I like them better than Gamera as a whole. And Gamera is great. But this stuff is just really, really cool. It's really unique.
That Daimajin trilogy has a $100 MSRP as well.
Yeah, but I feel like that's got a 120-page booklet.
That one will be worth it for sure.
And also, I sent you photos. Someone I'm friends with on Facebook got it early. It's a top loader.
Right.
So, which is, I think is that Arrow's first top loader? I don't think of maybe the Hellraiser set or the Phantasm set.
No. Well, Phantasm, the Phantasm Sphere set is kind of like that. It comes off at a diagonal. Okay. And the Hellraiser, it's not top loader. It lays on its back, and the whole front cover lifts off.
Okay. But
we also never talked about packaging on the Shaw set.
Yeah, that's. Oh yeah, I'll pull that back up because it's a big boy. It is a big package.
Flex is asking where do you usually pre-order Arrow movies. Flip is going to say Cinema Classics, and I am all for that. They are cheap. They are extremely good with customer service, and most of the time you will get your stuff early if possible. If
I got Vengeance Trails 20 days early. So
if you're trying to order a bunch at once, if you've got a reason, Grindhouse Video is good with them. Diabolic is good with them. But lately, I'm going to throw one out there for Orbit DVD as well. They are fantastic, and they're getting a lot of the Region B Arrows in. So it is really easy. And they do free shipping if you're getting 3 titles or more. So it's really easy to go in there for one and go, you know what? To save $3, maybe I'll spend 70 more.
I'm going to stay loyal to Cinema Classics. I buy almost all Region A stuff from them. And then Region B, I go through Diabolic if I can, or Terracotta distribution.
Terracotta's great.
As well. Their customer service is amazing. I messaged them and was like, "Hey, are you guys getting a Riccio?" And they were like, "Let me check. I'll see if I can get you one." I was like, "Fuck yeah, I really hope you can because that thing is going to sell out
immediately." Yeah.
But here's the packaging for Shawscope. It's long. It's super long.
They compared it to the what is his name? Steven Spielberg said.
Yeah, I heard that, and what's the other one? The God, why am I blanking? The James Bond set.
Yes. Yeah, that James Bond set is nice. The only one. I have the Steven Spielberg one. I think I haven't messed with it in a long time. It's interesting. I do wish that it was more shelf friendly personally, but I do understand for something that this is quite honestly a showpiece for most people that buy it. This is something that will be the top of a shelf that you will be proud to own because it is going to be that all encompassing. It is, to me, this already looks better than like the Gamera set or the god-awful Criterion Godzilla set. This is something that I would much prefer over those.
Here's actually, while you were talking, I pulled up exactly what it's going to look like. There it is. So that's the prototype, and I like the writing. It's really funny. And Steven Spielberg. So yeah, it is about that size. I think that looks cool, honestly.
It's much nicer than Gamera, much nicer than Godzilla.
I'm just the weird thing is the book's only 60 pages.
Right, but think of it, we don't know the shape of the book yet either.
Yeah, the book's probably going to be huge.
Yes.
And here's just a preview of special features. So for the worst movie in the bunch, we're getting a high definition Blu-ray transfer, original uncompressed Mandarin English mono audio, newly translated English subtitles, new audio commentary by critic Travis Crawford, newly filmed interview with suit maker and performer Kaizo Murase, interview with director Hong Weng-hua, filmed by Frederick Ambrosini in 2003, interview with actor Q Feng, 30 minutes of behind-the-scenes Super 8 footage from Kaizo Murase's archive, alternate Goliathon opening credits, Hong Kong, German, Dutch, and U.S. theatrical trailers, plus U.S. TV spot, and Celestial reissue trailer and image gallery. So that is for the worst movie in the set.
And note also that it gets its own disc.
Oh, yep. It gets its own damn disc. So,
and for that much, it has to.
Yeah, it does.
Unless it was going to be compressed to all hell.
So, yeah, this is just, I'm so excited. Just how limited are they? No idea about the number limit, I'm afraid, but I don't think it'll disappear as quickly as Gamera did. Huh.
Which is a good indication that the print run is raised.
Yeah. And then someone says, how about Super Inframan Volume 2? He says, we don't have that one. So no Super Inframan, which kind of makes me believe that the no double dips besides Peking Man might be a thing. Because Super Inframan seems like the only, like, if they do one Toku-esque movie per set, that's one of the only other ones. So
right.
Looks like the size of the Transformer set we got off of you, size-wise flip. Yep, it does actually look. That's actually, yeah. I had the big fold-out Transformer set for the TV show. That looks like it's about that size. So, but damn, what a time to be alive! I'm so excited. Now, if Arrow could do a box set of samurai movies, they would have literally a box set of one in each of my favorite genres, and I could just be super happy. Because there's no samurai box sets besides, I think, Zatoichi.
I know it's done to death, and I know that it's your favorite, but imagine an Arrow 4K limited box set for Seven Samurai.
Yeah. Now, did you hear about the 4K from Criterion?
I've heard that it's rumored, and it's basically confirmed that it's coming. I do have my own ideas and guesses, but
American film, 30 years.
Right.
And I heard it starts with an M.
I mean, the answer for me is it has to be Mulholland Drive.
Yeah.
Studio Canal has already announced that they're doing a 4K of it in the UK, so it makes sense for them to make that here. Lynch is essentially the face of the Criterion Collection. To make the first 4K in their collection, any other director would be a slap in his face.
This is exactly what I was thinking, and Eric's reading my mind because those are Daiei films. One of the directors actually did one of the Daimajin films. So that would be an incredible set. But that's 12 films. 12 films for a series that's unknown.
Right.
But, I mean, they could just do like a standard, like, I don't know. I feel like Arrow fans just, like, there's people that just collect to collect and collect everything.
Of course.
Anamigo put out the Sleeping Eyes of Death into 3 box sets, which I have, and they look all right. You know, they're DVDs. They're a little older now. There's 12 films with the same actor, and then they did 2 more with a new actor because I think the main actor died. But they don't count those. And so it's like
right.
12. I think that would be an incredible box set. What's your favorite in the Shaw set and your least favorite? Least favorite's Mighty Peking Man. That is just a trash heap of a movie. I actually want to go get a surprise because it's my favorite movie in the set. I just got this. And if you're friends with me on Facebook, you have seen this. This is I don't normally buy posters at all. I'm not a poster guy. I have like Neon Genesis Evangelion over there. But when I saw this, I was like, holy fuck. I have to get this. This is the 5 Deadly Venoms signed by RZA. So it's got the RZA from the Wu-Tang Clan signature, and it's artwork by Kung Fu Bob. So this thing is just, man, it's awesome. It's such a cool poster. I don't know if there's a lot of glare, but man,
It still looks good. Yeah.
it's so awesome. That transfer I'm sure Arrow's going to use that transfer, but they played it on 36 Cinemas on Kung Fu Saturdays, and it looks amazing. So that's probably my favorite. I would say, I would say Crippled Avengers is probably my favorite on that set. It's really damn good. Does Shinobi no Mano have a good Blu-ray? No, Shinobi no Mano only has. Let me just go grab it real quick because it's a cool little set. It's a cool.
Flex asked if you can pre-order the Shaw set yet. Yes, you can. In the U.S., you can get it from Diabolic right now. DiabolicDVD.com. $137.99 shipped is their price, and they will ship it.
There's a code on Arrow. There's a code for Arrow. God, what is the code? It's like Arrow July or something like that.
I think it's Welcome July 10 something.
So here are the Sleepy Eyes of Death set right here. These are all by Daiei. So I mean, very, very likely that Arrow could potentially have all these.
And it's 12 movies.
12 films. They're very violent, very nihilistic. The main guy is not a good dude. Imagine more nihilistic Lone Wolf and Cub without the baby, and that's. But Shinobi no Mano was a really cool film series. So here's the Anamigo set. This is only 4 movies out of I think a 12 or 15 movie series. Anamigo quit putting them out. So someone asked them a while ago if they're going to do a volume 2, and they said financially it doesn't make sense because I'm sure these did not sell.
Not so well
at all because nobody knows Shinobi no Mano. For Arrow. So if you were to order it directly from Arrow, it might be a little cheaper than Diabolic if you want to save a few dollars.
And Jason, what's my favorite on that set? I'm probably going to say either Crippled Adventures or Chinatown Kid.
Yes, those are both good picks. If you, Ryan, I would really suggest you collect Anamigo. They put out. It's just weird to look at their catalog because they put out Lady Snowblood and Shogun Assassin years before Criterion put them out. They did a whole box set of all of them. They were kind of like they have like their ear to the ground for that kind of stuff. They put them out on Laserdisc, eventually DVD as well. So yeah, Anamigo's awesome. But yeah, these are like that. I have every movie that they put out, and it's like every samurai movie that they put out, and it's like one of my favorites in the collection. It's like my pride of the collection. It's so damn good. Yeah, they do rescue classic animes. They do Kickstarters now because I just think it's more profitable to do a Kickstarter. And plus the stuff that they license is just anime is expensive.
Absolutely.
I know like the average is like $1,000 an episode, and most shows are like 25 to 50 episodes. I could not imagine. How much do you think it is to license a movie?
That one really depends on the movie and who the rights are with. Some of them seriously can be as cheap as like 10,000, and then some of them are running up to $250,000 and higher. And that's for like popular-ish films. Like I guarantee True Romance coming from Arrow was a pretty hefty one to license.
And then they transferred it in 4K, which is
correct.
I could not even imagine the cost of that that package. And then they're also doing Glorious Bastards, right?
Yes, there's been a postcard in it, and I would not be surprised if that was another 4K set coming soon.
They have a lot of stuff that's been on postcards that it's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
The Edgar Wright movie. Yeah.
Yeah, which I actually have right here. For some reason, it's just right by me. It's full of figures. I don't know why that's next to me. I don't even like that movie. So I really don't know why I have that postcard. I didn't realize that people collect the postcards.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't understand collectors.
They'll even sell them and buy them, and yeah.
I saw what's his name? Is it John that was selling?
John Gray. Yeah,
he's so nice. He's so incredibly nice.
Yeah.
Everyone in that group's super nice. Jason's great. I did get bitched at by somebody because his package got lost in the mail, and he was just like, he was calling me like just an idiot, the R word, just I was like, dude, I'm sorry. I refunded him his money right away, and then he still was going on. And I was like, just shut the fuck up. And he finally did. It's like, my lord, dude. Just but yeah, I'm excited. This is just I think I called this when I was still doing the stream with Cody. I said I think and I told this to Ice on the phone before. I think kung fu movies are going to be the next thing that's going to be getting a lot of attention, and it seems to be true. We're getting, I mean, this year we had One Arm Boxer. We're getting Duel to Death. Now we're getting 22 Shaw Brothers movies in the States. What happened to Cody?
Right.
Cody's state opened back up in Canada, and he went back to work. Hey, you tell Marcus me and Ryan both said hi. But yeah, I'm so excited, and I'm excited for you to get it so we can talk about it and
For sure.
see you become a martial arts fan. What happens if you hate it though? If you're just like, this sucks.
I've watched a lot of martial arts growing up, but the big thing is I don't remember what it was specifically. It was those late night crappy ones for the most part, but there was some Shaw peppered in. There was some aspects of it. My family was never into it. I unfortunately one of those families that never wanted to watch subtitled movies.
Dude, my parents didn't until Parasite came out, and they were like, "This was a good movie." And I'm like, yeah, you guys are missing out on a lot of shit just because you won't read subtitles. But they'll watch an Italian movie. Well, my dad will because my dad's white. So he'll be like, I'll watch an Italian movie. I'm like, okay, but you won't watch a Korean movie? And he's like, no. Right. I feel I'm going to guess John meant slowdown of Giallo releases and more upcoming Kung Fu / Asian films, which
either that or Giallo fighting up against Kung Fu because Giallo's been a big deal the last few years.
Yeah, like even was it like Vinegar Syndrome putting out like bottom of the barrel?
I wouldn't say that. They're actually surprisingly good.
I'm just kidding. I know that we have some Vinegar Syndrome fans in the chat. What's going on, Skeletor? Ice says, "Ooh, just saw disconnected post about Gold Ninja."
Yeah, they are doing an Indiegogo right now that they are trying to film some scans of some, or not film. They're trying to fund some proper scans of old public domain movies. And Gold Ninja is incredible that they are here to not necessarily restore those films, but to provide the special features themselves on some of these discs. And they put them out on limited edition Blu-ray. They're hand numbered, and the leader of Gold Ninja is incredible. I've got a couple discs I can show off. Have you ever got anything from Gold Ninja?
No, I've never heard of them until today.
Okay, so let me show you. There's a couple that you're gonna love.
Ryan? How tall are you?
I am 6'5".
Jesus Christ! I'm 5'7". Holy shit! God damn.
One that you would appreciate. This is their Jackie Exploitation Blu-ray. This is the ultimate from Jackie Chan. This includes, and this is, I took this one apart recently and was watching some on here. So to show that this is no joke, this is a full 3-disc set.
What's on it?
And this is Gold Ninja Video is proud to present some of the best in this 10-movie collection of Jackie Chan imitators and copycats that feature action movie legends like Angela Mao from Chance of Death, Sammo Hung, and they are trying to replicate Jackie's comedy kung fu success. Special features on this 3-disc set include 3 commentary tracks, video featurettes exploring the history of Simon Yun, getting to the bottom of is Jackie actually in that movie, and a new instructional video on how to construct your very own Jackie Chan fight scene at home. And most of these, like this is a bigger title for them. They printed 800 of these, and I have number 8 right there. And
is that out of print now?
I believe this one is still in print
on Gold Ninja's website.
Yep. And they have a lot of those. Like they put out the Holy Virgin versus the Evil Dead. If you've ever heard of that one,
I've never heard of that. What is that?
It is wackiness. There is a Kung Fu Kids movie that they have up right now that you can still get. Gold Ninja is amazing. They put out stuff that nobody will ever put on Blu-ray, and then they actually film new special features for it. Flex asked if I'm drunk. I'm not drunk. I've not drunk in a few days, at least.
They did a limited edition of And God Said to Cain.
Yes.
Wow.
And I was about to mention this. Their ICE, they're offering their out of print titles from their Indiegogo campaign right now. So if there's some that you missed previously, you can get them in groups of 3, and it's very fairly priced. It's only $60.
Jackie Exploitation is available. $22. $22.
Maybe I am drunk. He asked if I can dunk, and I said I'm not drunk. Yes, maybe I'm drunk.
Oh.
No, I cannot dunk. I'm a very fat white man.
Are you drunk? Can you dunk?
I wish I was drunk. I'm reading quickly, I promise. But really cool thing here. This is the first time anybody's heard about it. I filmed a video that's going up on my channel tomorrow, so subscribe there, by the way. The guy that is behind Gold Ninja Video is going to be doing a live interview with me on my channel next week.
Whoa, that's awesome.
Yeah, Justin from Gold Ninja Video. So we're going to be getting into depth on some of these releases. He is going to be answering any questions anybody has. It is going to be rather nice. I've got a handful of titles from them right now, and I've got another, I think 8 or 10 more coming from them already. Their Indiegogo is incredible. It's only been up for a couple days, and they already have a lot contributed to them.
Well, I am going to be buying the Bruceploitation or the Jackie
Exploitation.
Jackie Exploitation release. I'm so buying that. That's awesome. Huh. The Ultimate Donnie Yen Experience, Holy Virgin versus the Evil Dead.
Yep.
What in the fuck is this?
And some of the other ones that they've got up on their website, if anybody has never looked through their website, they have so much. One of the ones I was talking about earlier is the kids' Kung Fu movie. They have a movie called Kung Fu Wonder Child. And the synopsis on this one says, when a corrupt sorcerer uses his black magic powers to capture the souls of an upstanding Kung Fu family, the only surviving granddaughter incites a rescue mission with the aid of the Kung Fu Wonder Child. To save the world, they will have to face off against a hopping vampire family, an invincible zombie man, and a cell-animated dragon. This is a classic of WTF Taiwanese movie madness. Gold Ninja Video is proud to present Kung Fu Wonder Child in a disc dedicated to the beauty of kids performing death-defying feats. There's also a new feature-length commentary track, a video guide to introducing children to martial arts cinema, and the hair-raising Kung Fu Kids action spectacular, Lucky 7.
Someone wants to know, are these pressed or are they burned?
As far as I'm aware, yep, they are BDRs.
Oh well.
I mean, they're Blu-ray still. They're not DVDs. I'd take BDRs over DVD. That's pressed even.
I'm going to get – there's one that I want, but it's sold out. Blood of the Dragon.
That one is on their Indiegogo right now, I believe.
Oh, I'm at the back to Indiegogo. Damn. That's awesome, though. Flip on their Indiegogo. They're offering out-of-print titles. Okay, so, yeah, I'm probably going to be back in that. Ryan, do you collect Thunderbean?
I don't know what that is by that title.
What is that? That sounds like something you would get from Adam and Eve.
What's the one you just said? Did you say Blood of the Dragon?
Yeah, Blood of the Dragon.
So Blood of the Dragon is for sure available on their Indiegogo right now. You have to buy 3. The ones they're offering on their Indiegogo again are The Dragon Lives Again, Ninja Vortex, Kung Fu Zombie, Strangler of the Swamp, Bela Lugosi meets a Brooklyn gorilla, Wolf Devil Director, Blood of the Dragon, Bluebeard, Thundering Mantis, Death Warrior, and then the aforementioned Holy Virgin versus the Evil Dead.
And how much do you have to pay to get those?
You buy 3 titles, and the Indiegogo perk is $60 plus shipping.
That's not bad.
No.
Dave wants to know
3 out-of-print Blu-rays.
Dave wants to know, do you guys think they may have dropped the ball on the packaging option for Shaw Brothers? Can you imagine a mural of the spines on multiple releases? Other possibilities? No, I mean, we don't really know what the box set looks like yet. So,
yeah, as far as we're aware, I believe that's a mock-up.
That's just a mock-up. They didn't even have the art for the discs, so I think it looks cool. I think the size is cool. It will fit on my shelf. That's the only thing I care about. The Gamera set is just too tall. So
the other part, I bet there will not be a mural across the spines because look how long that thing is. It would have to be to show a mural on the spines. You'd have to put it on a shelf that's like 2.5 feet deep.
I'm gonna guess they're gonna be in a book. The discs are gonna be in a book.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
And then when we said 60 pages, now I'm thinking about how long that thing is. That book was gonna have to touch the back, so that's gonna be a pretty big book. And I can't wait to see what they do with the design of the book. So I think it's too early to tell if it's going to be bad or not, but I'm positive on it. I mean, it's going to go right where this empty slot's at. It's going to be the showpiece. I says Thunderbean is not an Adam and Eve toy. It is a classic cartoons guy making blue restorations of classic cartoons.
No, I do not have Thunderbean, but that sounds right up my alley.
That does sound really freaking cool. It sounds like my alley. I don't even know where my phone's at now to look that up. Do you think you'll ever stop collecting?
I could see me changing paths, but I for sure see myself collecting something forever.
Yep. Flip the Frog color and sound cartoon. Aesop's Fables Volume 1. They have a bunch of old stuff. The Complete Adventure of Van Buren's Tom and Jerry.
It sounds a lot like Golden Ninja Video. It sounds like a lot of the old public domain titles.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it looks cool. I might actually pick up a couple of these. For me, collecting, I don't really talk about music ever. I have more vinyl records. I have like 5,000 than I do anything else. I was collecting vinyl records from high school until about 25. A lot of dub plates because I used to DJ as well. So I would DJ. I would get tracks sent to me. I would press them on vinyl. So I have a bunch of like just standalone custom dub plates. A lot of rare hip hop, a lot of rare electronic music because I was really in the techno and dubstep and stuff. So that's the majority. Oh, a lot of metal, a lot of black metal, and then random like Jennifer Lopez. I'm a huge Jennifer Lopez fan. I have a lot of
black metal, Jennifer Lopez.
Exactly. I mean, if you go through my collection, you'll find Destiny's Child, Say My Name, and then like right next to it, it'll be like Mayhem's Die Merciless Dom Satanas. So. But I'll always be collecting something. I went from I still buy vinyl, but not as heavily because I'm not in the music scene anymore. So, but now I just buy
vinyl is expensive now too.
Super expensive now. So I only buy stuff that I really, really want. I used to have. I don't know if you know dubstep. I used to have every single Deep Medi music release, every tempo release, and every hyperdub release, which. Wow. Hyperdub has over 100 releases at this point. But now I pretty much just like if an artist I absolutely love put something out, I'm gonna buy it. Like Burial's one of my favorite electronic musicians. I'll buy anything he puts out. Same with Aphex Twin. And then it was manga, but movies have always been such a big part of my life. And now that I'm older, I'm making more money. I'm more financial. Able to just blow it on stupid shit. It's more fun for me to come home from a long night of work, put on a movie, get a complete story, and then go to bed. With manga, my favorite manga series is 31 volumes.
Jesus.
If I ever want to if I ever want to return to that series, I have to spend probably a good month and a half of reading. Just like not every day.
Just to remember.
Just to remember, So that's the only thing that I hate about manga, and then also anime. They're so long. And then the film series I do love, like let's say The Sleepy Eyes of Death, because they're just right in front of me. The movies are pretty much standalone that you can just throw one on. Zatoichi's pretty standalone. You can just throw it on and just watch it. But yeah, I will always be collecting something, whether it be movies. I think it's going to be movies.
I love that question came up organically because the video going up on my channel tomorrow is why I collect.
That's awesome. What kind of anime do you think Ryan would enjoy? Ooh. You haven't seen that much anime, have you?
Next to none.
Okay, let me go grab a
I
few titles. And
I think I just got the first title that I've ever bought myself.
What'd you get?
I think it's within reach. I'll grab it. Maybe it's not.
Where is this movie? I'm trying to find this one specific movie.
I feel like the one you're going to grab is the one I just bought, so I'll confirm that after you come back.
So, oh, wait, do I have more over here? No, okay. So, these are three of my favorite. All of them are samurai or ninja based. Go figure.
Oh, maybe not then. Never mind.
So, the first one I want to show off, and I think you would love this, and I think your kids would like it too. If you allow them to see some cartoons with blood, there's a little bit of blood in here. I watched it with my kid, but she wasn't paying attention. This is, I think, a very overlooked movie. Ice actually in the chat told me to buy this. And not only do I think it's one of the best anime movies, I think it's one of the best samurai movies, period. It's fantastic, and that's Sword of the Stranger. So this is by Studio Bones. They do My Hero Academia. I'm sure you've heard of that.
Yeah.
This is a movie that they did. So if you've seen some animation from that, imagine that animation but with a higher budget because it's a movie. Incredible. A show that's only 12 episodes, I think. You got 12 episodes. It's based on a manga. It never got a sequel, and it kind of ends on a cliffhanger. But that is Shigurui Death Frenzy. This is by Studio Madhouse. They're most famous for Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust. Recently, they've done No Guns Life. But they were like one of the most influential anime studios ever. This is about a samurai samurai tournament that takes place, and it's these. They just fight super crazy ways. Like there's a guy who can hold his he'll be fighting, and when he swings, he'll let the blade fall out of his hands until he catches it at the very end of the handle, and he'll do like this wide swing with it. It's really cool. And then my favorite anime movie, which I think it's a must own. It's a must buy. Ninja Scroll. This is one of the most insane movies I've ever seen in my life. It's gory. It's very sexual. It's over the top. And the director, I think his last name is Kawajiri. He did Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust, which is another great movie. He's done Cyber City Oeda. He's done Demon City Shinjuku, Wicked City. But this movie is incredible, incredible. The character designs, the artwork, and everything is it's top notch.
Looks great.
There's a television series based off of this, and when I found out that it came out, I was so excited. I was like, "Wow, more Ninja Scroll!" Terrible. One of the worst shows I've ever watched in my life. So, what did you get anime wise? Because I'm kind of excited to see what you got.
I don't know why, but I can't see it. I'll just say I got the special that Shout Factory put out of Perfect Blue.
Yeah, that's a great movie too. My God, that's a good movie.
I got that from Orbit DVD, like I was talking about earlier. Yeah,
I think David Fincher was set to make a remake of that.
I think he was attached. I'm not sure if he still is.
Eric says he likes Robot Carnival a lot. I'm a really big mecha fan, so stuff like Gundam, Laserion, but I feel like that stuff is it's really daunting to just be like, hey,
right,
you should watch 50 episodes of Gundam Seed. That's what you should watch. And then people be like, that is a huge turnoff. Don't do that. When lockdown first happened, I watched all Universal Century Timeline Gundam in about a 3-week period, in about a month. And that's like almost 300 episodes of anime or something like that. Like it was just nonstop. It was just insane. What are your favorite live action movie adaptations of anime?
I'm not going to have any because I'm not even sure of any.
I'm going to say anime and manga. Lady Snowblood, Lone Wolf and Cub, both manga adaptations. Both the same mangaka, Kazuo Koike.
And the only reason I said that is because I've never read the manga or seen the anime, so that I wouldn't be able to give the fair review there.
The manga's more what's the word I would use for the Lone Wolf manga? The manga for Lone Wolf is more contemplative, and I feel like the television show that Lone Wolf is based off of matches the tone of the manga more than the movies. But I think easily the best anime / manga adaptation is the Rurouni Kenshin movies. Just incredible. I cannot believe how good those movies are. Just they're so good. I said this last night, but have you seen the Raid movies?
I've seen the most of the first one. I've still not finished it, and I haven't seen the second one yet.
Ryan, those are some of my favorite movies of all time.
I know. I'm waiting.
But what I feel like the Raid did for martial arts films, made it like more fat. Like they have the feel of the old martial arts movies, but they're more bloody, they're more violent, they're faster paced. Right. That's what the Kenshin films did with samurai films. The fights are long takes, super detailed fights. I think there's a fight in the snow in one of the movies that took them over a month to film because the choreography was so detailed. Or it might be in the rain. It's one of the two. But I need to go back and rewatch them because the fourth one is on Netflix now. The brand new one. And it's a Netflix original. And I don't know how I feel. Because I have the 3 Blu-rays. So it's like,
You'll just never get that.
I'll never get that one. And they're making a prequel. It's about the gimmick with him is that he doesn't want to kill. So his sword is just like a piece of steel that he just, like he won't kill them, but he's going to give them brain damage. I think that's a really good adaptation. I'm sure I'm missing a couple because there's a couple that I did a video on this movies based on manga. Ichi the Killer. Ichi the Killer is based off of a manga.
That's a fun movie.
That is.
And Ice brought up the Guyver. I've seen Guyver for sure.
Yes, Guyver is great. Ichi the Killer's manga is more violent and grotesque than the movie. Imagine that. It's God, that movie's so fucked up.
I love that movie. I had my wife sit down with me to watch that. God, not even that long ago, like 7 months ago, and she was just like, "Whoa."
That's a lot to take in.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things is when they were both working, my 2 best friends at the restaurant, we would have like movie night and their brother and sister, and we would have like, Blade of the Immortal. Yes, I do like the Takashi Miike. I can't believe I didn't think of that. That's my favorite manga, Blade of the Immortal. The one that's 31 volumes, which is obviously way more fleshed out than the movie. God. Eric's right here. There's Old Boy. Yeah, Old Boy is a manga. Old Boy is a Japanese comic. I completely forgot about that. In Yugashiki, I still haven't seen that live action. Blue Spring, I didn't know. I Am a Hero. Yep. Parasite. I haven't seen the Parasite movie. But there's 2 fights in Blade of the Immortal where like 4 people in one scene go into like the big shogunate castle. And they kill almost all the samurai, just 4 of them. And it's just epic battle. And then the final battle is also epic, and they didn't make it into the movie. Is there a manga / anime you would like to see go live action? I would kill if Netflix or HBO did a live action series of Blade of the Immortal. They're like, hey, here's a high budget, do your thing. Like a Game of Thrones budget. I think they could kill it because it's pretty, for as crazy as it is, it's pretty grounded in reality. Like besides the bloodworms making them immortal. The show I've been watching on Netflix, Kingdom, is technically a webtoon, a webcomic from Korea. That's really good. I feel like there's more stuff that I can't think of. Like Old Boy, for instance, is one of my favorite movies. And God, that manga, if you can find it, Ryan, for cheap, because it's pretty out of print, if you ever come across it, buy it. It's vastly different from the movie. Like, vastly different. It's great, but I would say Kenshin's probably the most in print thing in Lone Wolf and Cub, and probably the best out of everything that we've talked about.
I'll throw out there too. A couple streams ago, I told you I was getting into it more and more. But some of the Junji Ito stuff I've read, I would love to see some of that, especially with the CGI that we were
Are
able to
not
do
good.
now.
There's a
There's so much that
couple.
we could do.
There's a couple live action. I think Gio. Oh,
Oh,
Ricky
I
O.
don't.
Ricky O's another one. God damn it.
I don't know anything about any of the live action ones that they've done for Junji Ito yet, but there's so much that you could do properly with it if you put the right money into it,
Yes.
for sure.
Trying to think. I think there's one more that I'm thinking of that's not in the top. That's on the tip of my tongue, and I can't think of it. I'm trying to like look around at my anime manga stuff, and hopefully it triggers my brain. But Kingdom. There's a live action Kingdom movie. Funimation put out. It's based on a manga that is not out in the States. How is the Blade of the Immortal Blu-ray? I have the Arrow one because I think it's the best version of that. I think it has the most special features. It's good. Did you hear about Made in the Abyss real life TV shows being made? That show's got children naked in it. So I don't know how I feel. It's an anime. They're supposed to be like 12, I think, and they're like, no. I don't know how they're gonna do a fucking live action of that. That's weird. Angel Battle Alita, Crow Zero, Death Note films. Yep. Did you ever see Alita?
I've still not watched Alita.
Oh, would love to see a Hellsing series. One of the people who worked on John Wick is doing a live action Hellsing movie, so that's a pretty big. Oh yeah, Hellsing's a good one. You should pick up Hellsing. Super violent, like hyper violent.
Nice.
And bloody. And
I still haven't gotten into Death Note. I've heard great things about Death Note, obviously.
I feel like because we're older, we're past the age of 25. I think Death Note is. I think as I look back on it as an almost 30-year-old, it's a little edgy, a little almost too edgy.
That makes sense. For the people that love Death Note, that makes sense.
People who love Death Note is like the ICP of anime. The fans of Death Note are like juggalos.
When you can get Death Note stuff in Hot Topic nowadays, that makes sense.
Dude, it blew my mind when I went to Hot Topic after years of not being in Hot Topic, and they were selling like Emperor, Dark Throne, and Mayhem shirts, and then like right next to it, it's like My Hero Academia and Death Note. I was like, what? Yeah. All right. Imagine Dragons like across the way from that. Oh man, what's a movie that you want to see remade? Like if you could do a remake of a movie and you could pick the director, who would you?
I mean, I'm probably going to have to go horror here because that's what I do. I'm also one of the people, I don't hate remakes. I don't outright write them off. I can't stand it. They don't make the original ones go away. They still exist. You can still enjoy them. To me, I would love to see a current modern day remake of the original Tremors movie. And I would love to see that directed by like
Rob Zombie.
No. Well, to be honest, if you went similar in tone to the first one, it wouldn't be that bad of an idea. But let me make sure I get his name right before I sound like an idiot.
Steven Spielberg.
I was right. Alexander Aja would be incredible at that. He is the guy that did Piranha 3D, but more importantly, he's the guy that did the Hills Have Eyes remake.
I actually like those. I actually like the Hills Have Eyes.
I love the Hills Have Eyes remake. It was great. Yeah, it's probably one of my favorite remakes of all time.
When did that come out?
2006, I think.
Damn, that seems like yesterday.
But yeah, I think he could make a Tremors movie like genuinely scary. He could actually make the creature look more believable than what we got with Kevin Bacon. We could make the City of Perfection fantastic. What about you?
Oh man, this is a tough one. God, I would love to see. I'm trying to think. I was going to pick a samurai movie, but I think Miike did a great job remaking Harakiri and 13 Assassins. I think both those movies are great, and a little bit of a sacrilegious comment. I do think the Harakiri remake is just as good, but for different reasons as the original. I would love to see. Man, this is really fucking tough to like think about. Um, I would maybe not a remake, but I would love to see like a modern, and a modern kung fu movie with the same Shaw Brothers aesthetic, remade with faster fight choreography, and I would pick like Gareth Evans of the Raid to
That makes sense.
to like do it, and have the whole team have like the guy who played Mad Dog, I think his name's Yungen, him come in and do the fight, the fight choreography like he did for the Raid movies. It just I miss that we don't have new movies with that aesthetic to it. Like,
That makes sense.
do you ever watch like like in my mind when I'm watching like a Western movie, especially a spaghetti Western movie, or if I'm watching a kung fu movie from Shaw, or if I'm watching like a samurai movie like Lone Wolf and Cub, it feels like it's in a heightened reality version of our world. And it's just like, especially with the Shaw stuff, you can never pinpoint what era that it's set in.
Right.
Like I can never pinpoint, and I feel like that's what makes it feel almost timeless. Is that like it feels like it's just a different reality. It's a borderline fantasy, but it's just not quite all the way over the edge with it. But I miss that look. I miss that whole thing. I would love to see that. I would love to just see more. Seven Samurais remade. Give it to Miike. He did 13 Assassins. Give it to Miike. Have him do it in black and white. Because I think that opening for Blade of the Immortal, have you seen Blade of the Immortal?
Yep.
That opening shot where it's in black and white is gorgeous. Have him do a remake. Have him do it in black and white. And just let him go nuts with it. Let him just go balls to the walls with it. I think that would be awesome. I know that's sacrilegious to some people, but that's my favorite movie of all time, and I would be ecstatic if it got remade.
Well, not to mention the amount of eyes it would get on the original at the same time as well. It would get a lot more press. It would get a lot more passing around. A lot of people would discover it.
I had a friend who's mostly an anime guy. Like his 90% of his collection is anime. No, I would say 99%. And he goes, "Hey, Criterion's having a sale. This was their last sale." He goes, "What should I get?" And I was like, "You got to get Lone Wolf and Cub, and you got to get Seven Samurai." This is what he texted me, and I read this last night while he was on stream with me. But I want to tell you because you have seen Seven Samurai, right?
Yeah, of course.
This was his takeaway from that movie. I think everyone's takeaway is different. I feel like me and you. Oh man, Friday the 13th with Panos Cosmatos. Holy shit. That would be trippy. That would be nuts. He just says he says the females in Seven Samurai have some fat bottoms. That was his takeaway after watching that movie. And I just wrote LOL. And he wrote, "Guess that's where ghetto booty comes from." And then he says all the actors playing samurais have got to be dads. I stopped what I was doing and called him. I'm like, "That's what you fucking got from that movie?" The butts are big. He was like, "What? They're all looking real good." And I was like, "Jesus, dude." That movie made me feel things, and you're just like, "Yeah, I'm horny." That's probably one of my favorite reactions.
After Asian movie enthusiasts saying remake Friday the 13th with Panos, with the new hype of continuing old storylines and retconning some of the stories we got in some of these old horror franchises, I would love to see Friday the 13th pick back up with a present day Corey coming back in and acting his ass off in like the brand new Friday Part 6 or 7 or whatever. And that would be amazing to see him come back and fight old Jason or something.
What do you think of the remake that came out not that long ago?
That was 2009. I didn't hate it. I do think Derek Mears made a great Jason. There's some of the stuff like Jason running, it still doesn't make a whole lot of sense with the rest of the series. But at the same time, it's a remake. It's a brand new series. Shouldn't be comparing them anyways. I do like the way that they stayed true to a lot of the same things with the if you have sex, you're going to die sort of instance that comes up in that series. But I don't know. The amount of people that just wrote it off because it was a Friday the 13th remake, it kind of soured the whole experience. They were negative on it from the moment it got announced. But at the same time, I mean, we got a Halloween sequel in 2018. That's great. It doesn't have to be something that you immediately say, I never want to watch it.
I take back what I said. I want Seven Samurai directed by Zack Snyder. I would love that. I would love that just to see Criterion fans' heads just explode, and then get a Criterion 4K before the original. That's my dream. That's what I want. Come on.
It would be filmed in color, but so devoid of color, it would just be gray and black and white.
It would be. Have you seen Shadow? The
Alec Baldwin?
No, no, the Chinese movie.
That was mostly a joke.
But that movie Shadow.
That movie is called The Shadow.
Oh, yeah, the Alec Baldwin movie. No, there's this Chinese movie called Shadow, directed by the guy who did Hero, and
I've not seen that one.
And it's like black and white, but there's still flesh tones in that movie. Oh my god, dude, that one, that just that made me tear up. That was so funny. It just took me by surprise. I feel like we need a Nightmare on Elm Street remake. We haven't had one. And I did. That's the remake I did not like. The fact that they made Freddy didn't they make him like a good guy, like an innocent dude?
No, it was quite no. Well, I wouldn't say glorifying. No.
I remember just not feeling right about what they did with Freddy, and it was just like
primarily to me they showed too much of the whole. We're going to show the parents actually locking this dude in a factory type setting and burning him alive, which it made you sympathize with Freddy for a little bit, just because he got. I mean, to me, that's not true justice necessarily, but yeah.
Isn't he a child raper?
Yeah, kind of. The original series was light on it in the first one, and then the subsequent movies went into a little more detail, but yeah.
That always made me uncomfortable because I was like, and then when I see people with like Freddy tattoos, I'm like, whoa, dude, you got a pedophile on your arm. Like it's very weird.
He has turned into a personality, so that is a different thing.
And Robert Englund's amazing. I think him and the roles are great.
Right, but also you could say the same for any of the horror villains. Like you got a murderer on your arm. It's not quite a pedophile.
You got Leatherface on your arm. He's just a family guy. He's just a family man. If you were to live in one world and you had to face one killer, who would it be?
Oh Jesus.
Is there a reason why Mike Myers is unstoppable? Is he like?
No, it's never like explained. Thankfully,
he's just a bad motherfucker.
He's just super strong, and by like the fourth movie, there's something supernatural. Obviously, if I had to face one killer, who would it be? I am going to go out on a limb and go a little bit semi-obscure and modern, and say the killer from It Follows. Have you seen It Follows yet?
What's the twist in that movie?
The twist in that movie is it's a movie about STDs, basically. So there's always this creeping figure coming after the person that is the current victim, and to transfer it to another person, you have to have sex with them. So you either have sex and you're safe, or the big thing is it's always coming slowly. You just travel far away, and then you wait a few weeks, and then you travel again, and you'll be fine.
Who is it? What is it?
It changes forms. That's the hardest part about it, is you don't know who it is, but at the same time, there's so much you can do to keep yourself safe.
Huh. It makes me not want to ever have sex again.
Yeah, but it's a good thing because it transfers your victim idea to somebody else.
Yeah, but I don't want to be the responsible, person passing that down and killing somebody.
So then they just have sex with someone else, and you're good too.
Oh fuck! I'd be like, all right, we're gonna run a train, but I'm the first person to reach coitus, and then I'm leaving. I'm out. Oh god! You just go to a gangbang and you're good.
Exactly.
That's the whole, yeah, but then that thing's ping-ponging around. It's like boom, 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 boom. We don't know who has it again.
The killer's just in the middle, confused.
He's like, all right, duck, duck, goose, you're it. Just like.
I can't take notes. Where are we? What about you? Who are you fighting to the death?
Fighting to the death? Oh God, I feel like I could kick Leatherface's ass. I don't know. I feel like I kick his ass. Everyone else I'm scared of. But just like a crazy redneck, like I live amongst a bunch of crazy rednecks. I feel like yeah, yeah. It's the fucking Midwest, man. I can't believe you moved out here.
And it's the sad thing is it's heaven compared to where I came from.
Dude, my grandparents left an island and they were like, we're gonna move to central Illinois where there's nothing. I look out my window, I see corn. And when I see people that I'm friends with that from this area that post like a picture of like nature and they're like, God, Midwest sunrise is beautiful. I'm like, I'm just looking at soybeans. There's something beautiful about that. I don't know. I mean, all of them scare me. Realistically, I'm a huge pussy, so I would be screwed. He's 6'5" and weighs 350 pounds. You're right.
So he's me. No big deal.
I don't look like it, but I lift a lot of weights. Like that's like my other hobby. I'm right now I'm going through a powerlifting phase. So I'm 205.7 and I'm 285 pounds right now. And I'm bench pressing 355. So I'm feeling good. I need to lose weight though, because I'm getting too much of a belly. Wasn't the killer visible only to the victim?
I believe so. Yes.
What does it? Does it ever show you what it looks like?
Many times, but legitimately it changes form. And what I would say is the most like horrifying scene in that movie, there are people coming over to somebody's house and suddenly this killer that's coming to attack them is literally like 8 feet tall and ducks under the doorway to come into the house. And he's super imposing. Yeah. But there's a couple scenes. It's an old lady. There's all kinds of scenes. It changes form. So it's dangerous in that sense, but it's slow moving. Just go far away and you're good.
Is there a way to just erase the spell?
I don't think so. They could have gone into more detail with like a sequel, but I'm really glad they didn't. It's more just a terrifying one-shot experience of a movie.
There's a naked old man on a roof in that movie?
It Follows is great.
I want to watch this now.
It's a genuinely good movie, and it's not like a regular old horror movie. It's a pretty good movie. Really well acted too.
How tantalizing is it?
Not as much. Not enough to make it off-putting, I would say.
Okay. It's because I mean, nudity is fine, but it's just the one thing that always puts me off about like slasher flicks is that like sex is always a constant, and I get that's a trope in those movies, but it's just like I just want to see the kills. I just want to see people die. Just give me like these DVDs right here, the old school Killers DVDs. They have a feature if you don't want to watch the whole movie, you can just they compile all the fights for each movie. I would love that for horror movies. Just like, hey, here's the kill count. Watch like Saw. Like, would love to see how people die in Saw over and over again.
I love Saw.
You see Trick or Treat? Love Trick or Treat. Love Trick or Treat.
Trick or Treat is great.
Favorite horror anthology? What's your favorite horror anthology?
I mean, it probably is Trick or Treat.
Besides Trick
legitimately,
or Treat, it seems like the obvious choice.
All right. To throw a random one out there, normally I'd probably say the first Creepshow movie. I am going to go the original Tales from the Crypt.
Okay. What VHS is it where the girl is in the hotel room and she's like a demon?
I think that's the first one, if I'm remembering right.
That short film in general, I love that short film. That movie scared the fuck out of me. Scared the shit out of me.
One that not a lot of people have heard of. I also love the Fear footage movies. It is a very, very independent. They've put out crazy when they can do this, but they've put out 3 of them now. I still haven't seen the third one, but the first one is It is top notch. It is genuinely creepy. It's about the wraparound story is about a cop that goes into this house to do a search and finds a tape, and it starts to play, and he sees a couple of the things on it, and it's really well filmed, decent storyline, good scares, and it's not like nudity based, not a whole the fear footage. Yeah, Tales from the Dark Side is great as well.
It's like Google is listening. I just type in and it says the fear footage. It's creepy. Oh shit, that's really scary looking. Something coming out of the basement, it looks like.
Ah, yeah, good scene.
This is creepy as fuck. Damn, there's a wow. I've never even heard of this until now.
It is really good. And the second one was decent too. I still need to see the third.
I kind of want to get back into horror movies, but it's just
this is the perfect time. And look at that, we can do a weekly video of you watching one, and we can catch up on it.
We should give each other recommendations every week. Where like you're saying, hey, you watch this movie, I'll tell you to watch this movie, and then
I'll watch a martial arts movie, you watch a horror movie, and we'll discuss.
Okay. What do you have? That's what I want to know.
What do I have?
Do you have Blind Woman's Curse from Arrow?
Is it under a different title? Because that does not sound familiar.
No, it's one of their older DVD Blu-ray combos.
Oh, that's what I know.
Tiro Ishii.
I thought I had all the Ishis. Damn it. Huh.
Yeah, Blind Woman. I think it was maybe the first one they put out. It's got
Puppet Master is the greatest horror movie of all time. I'm sorry, Flex. I respected you till now, but that's done. I've got Lone Wolf and Cub. I've got like almost all of the 88s. I've got a lot of the Eureka stuff.
You have a lot of the 88s?
I believe I have all of them.
Do you have Dragon Missile?
I say that in the first one you ask, I'm not going to have one. I don't have Dragon Missile.
Do you have Flying Guillotine?
No.
Do you have? Oh my god! Do you have?
It was sold out. Oh wait, I spelled it wrong.
Do you have a database of everything?
Yeah, I've got the Blu-ray.com app.
That's awesome. So you do have Come Drink With Me?
No. The first three you've named.
How about Masked Avengers?
I don't even remember them putting that out. No, I don't have that one. I do have lots of movies with the word Avengers in the title, but most of them are films that Scorsese hates.
Well, I agree with Martin Scorsese. Do you have?
I've got a bunch of Jackie Chan. I've got
what? Okay, what Shaw Brothers stuff do you have?
Not a ton. I've got Clan of the White Lotus.
Okay.
I've got, and I also have, I think, one more still coming from them. I've got 8 Diagram.
Yes. Watch that one.
You know what? For Shaw, that's literally all I have at the moment is those two.
Damn. I would say watch 8 Diagram, and then you tell me whatever movie, and I'll just rent it. Because I'm not going to have it. I can already tell you, I'm not going to have that movie.
We'll think of something.
Okay. Fear Street, maybe, or Fear Tapes?
The fear footage?
Yeah.
And I agree with Zero. The Invisible Man is a pretty terrifying movie. That was a great version of that story.
Really? It's good?
It is very good. There is the scene of them at the dinner table in the restaurant was insanity.
I haven't seen it, but
so there's somebody there that they think has been going crazy because they are being pestered by somebody who's literally invisible, and the person they're talking to at the dinner table basically sits up, and because they're being controlled by the invisible man, grabs a knife and cuts their own throat in the middle of this restaurant, or the knife just gets picked up and cuts its own throat. I don't remember. I saw it in theater, one of the two. But you're so just sitting here focused on the conversation they're having, and suddenly their throat is slit and they're dying at the dinner table, and now everybody's going to think it's the person they're speaking to, of course.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that movie was fantastic.
Just finished rewatching 8th Diagram Pole Fire. What'd you think, Eric? After rewatching it, I think it's a fantastic movie. I think it's one of Shaw Brothers' best. Just rewatch The Substitute. Make Flip watch that. What is that?
It is. That's more of like an intro level. I want to go something that's a little better for you. I'm thinking of something.
Give me something
like The Descent.
The shit out of my wife. I've seen The Descent.
Okay.
Give me something that will scare the fuck out of my wife, because I'm gonna make her watch it.
Has she seen The Strangers?
I don't think she has seen The Strangers. But
I have. You?
Yes,
okay.
I have seen The Strangers. Wait? What's that movie that you said was scary? That's like The Strangers. Funny Games.
Yes, Funny Games, very much, and that's Criterion release. That's a good one.
Is that scary?
It is. It's more of a thriller.
Okay. I'm trying to think of, like, I don't own too many horror. I have a couple, but they're mostly like kung fu based horror. So, here the Poughkeepsie tape is crazy. It is. Is the Anime Samurai 7? Yes. Yes, it is. It's based off Seven Samurai. But with a cyberpunk aesthetic to it. I thought Them was better than The Strangers.
Them is pretty damn good. It's a French movie, and it is. I think it has a better setting, and that's the big thing it has going for it. Is this couple is in this giant French house in the middle of nowhere, and they're running from these people that are taking them captive in their own house, I guess. And they are working on a wing of the home, and there's a lot of plastic tarps up, and really well directed, great movie, very good setting.
During that era, there's so many good French horror movies coming out.
Oh yeah, I mean, Martyrs was insane. Speaking of Alexandre Aja, High Tension, he did
That's a great movie too.
High Tension's amazing.
I did not see that twist coming.
Yeah,
I was like, what? Inside's probably the one that's fucked me up the most.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Inside, and then Frontiers. It's like Texas Chainsaw, but in France.
Yep.
And again, it just, all those movies solidify that France sucks, and it just is a terrible place, and they're never gonna go. They have all that stuff and Roman Polanski, so it's just not a fun place to go visit. I'm not going anytime soon. The remake of Inside. Wait, they remade Inside? What?
I gotta be honest, I had no idea about that.
I didn't know that they remade Martyrs until I saw it. Yeah, they remade Inside, and it's I can't tell what language this is in.
There's a good question. Dave asked, what do you think of The Collector, the collection? The Collector is great. Such a good movie, very sadistic. Really, really good entry movie for a lot of people to get into that type of movie. Super well done.
Is that the one where the guy breaks in the house and then there's a serial killer in there?
Yes.
That's a good movie. I actually like that movie. Wait, The Collector is over 10 years old now?
Oh, yeah. And they're about to come out with a third one.
I really like that movie a lot. Does he ever save him? I forget how it ends.
I've honestly never seen The Collection. I've only ever seen The Collector, so I'm not sure.
The Purge franchise is pretty fun. I actually like the Purge movie.
I completely agree. I think the first one, to me at least, was a big letdown when it first came out, but they only improved.
The new one looks crazy, but it's getting mad reviews. But then again, I never trust reviews when it comes to horror movies.
That's very true.
Because I feel like there's a couple genres that critics just don't understand. And I feel like if it's not an A24 horror movie, they're just not going to like it. So I like Election Year or Election Day? That movie was good. But where can they go after this one because they're just like The Purge forever. Like it's just 365. Kill anybody you want. I just read part 3 got canceled.
I thought it was already in the can. I'm not sure. I thought they already had it finished.
Damn, that sucks. And their props got stolen. Why would you do that? What are you gonna do with that? Who is that big of a collector fan that they're gonna be like, guys, I got the fucking mask from Collector.
The actual one.
But that's crazy. I mean, you and Aaron Penn did say that every movie is someone's favorite movie. So someone's favorite movie is The Last Jedi. And that just blows my fucking mind. I do know a couple people that I really like and respect their opinions on movies, but their favorite movie is The Last Jedi. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? How is that your... Oh my God, that movie's bad.
That's pretty sad.
That's a bad movie. I don't care if people get offended by it. That is a terrible movie. It's boring. A Collector.
Maybe it's Ryan Johnson's favorite movie though.
Puppet Master is my favorite, says Deflex. Yeah, there you go, Deflex. You got it. Puppet Master.
I don't know if this is trolling at this point, but I hope it is.
What? Why is Puppet Master bad? I don't know.
Puppet Master is in those tier levels that we were talking about martial arts. It's a really good C-.
Is it a D?
No, the first Puppet Master is fun at least, and there's probably 3 Puppet Masters that are good, and the rest are just trash.
And there's a lot of them, right? There's like 14 of them. Are you fucking serious? Who funds these movies?
His name is Charles Band, the guy behind Full Moon Features.
Is this guy loaded? How is he?
Yes, he exploits fans for money a lot. That's kind of his shtick.
Hell yeah, dude, work it. There's someone out there that's just like, the 2010s era Steven Seagal. That's my favorite. Those are my favorite movies. There's someone out there that's just like, yeah, I fucking Sniper 10 is my favorite movie. By the way, I can't believe you bought me that DVD set, dude. It's so fucking. I have it right here, actually. He bought me the first 4 Sniper movies.
That's hilarious.
All with Tom Berenger. He's still working it, dude. And they're all rated R.
And just think, some of those people that are into these movies that are just trash, like Double Team with Dennis Rodman, has gotten not just one, but multiple collector's edition Blu-ray releases now.
What?
There's one from 88 Films, and there's one from MVD Rewind.
Why?
Yes.
I feel like people who buy all this stuff from Walmart just love this. Which is that's not a diss at people who buy stuff from Walmart. But when your like movie tastes are based off of what's being featured at Walmart, and you're like, God damn, there's a new Sniper movie.
Hell yeah.
Fucking good American right there. Double Team is watchable trash.
I've got nothing against Double Team. And in fact, the only reason I know there's 2 collector's editions because they're both in this room.
I knew that was coming. I was like, let me guess, you have them. And yep, boom, you got them. And I don't hate these movies. I was watching them, and I was kind of like, hell yeah. Hell yeah. After I watch these movies, I'm going to go fuck my sister. These are good movies.
Might travel to Arkansas.
I actually really like these movies. They're fucking stupid. Yeah, they're still like the newest one came out in 2017 or something. They're in this room. I could shoot the dick off of a hummingbird. Is that a quote from Double Team? That's incredible.
If I'm remembering right, yeah.
Why do you own that movie twice?
I don't know.
Is there something like that in your room where you're just like, why is that here?
Probably. I draw the line God, no, I don't. I'm a collecting whore. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that I don't love that I have, and I want to get rid of it. And there's a bunch of stuff that I have for getting rid of right now. But like like you just said, like I own The Last Jedi. I've still never even seen it because the review soured me so much on it.
That was my wife's first Star Wars, and she was like, "That was great." And I was like, if you weren't pregnant with our child, I would throw you out of the school."
But on the other hand, at least you could blow her away with good movies later.
Dude, my favorite quote from my wife, and God bless her. I love her. She's only 24, so she hasn't seen it. She grew up in a small town, small rural midwestern town. Shui Hark directed that movie. What? Double Team? What? We saw Bumblebee, right? And we're watching it, and after it was over, which I think Bumblebee's a good movie. I think it's a solid Transformers movie.
I've still only ever seen the first two. I need to catch up.
She goes, "That's one of my favorite movies I've ever seen." And I was like, "Babe, we have to start watching more shit than just that." She made me watch Twilight.
Still never seen any of them.
And I got to admit, by the end, because you made me watch them, I was invested in these fucking characters. So by the end, when the battle happens and they're literally decapitating each other, I was like, "Oh!" I was like, it was like I was like watching a football game. I was like standing up and cheering for certain people. And she was like, "What happened to you hating these movies?" I'm like, "Oh, they fucking suck." But right now, this shit is hype. Like, I'm so pumped right now for what's happening on screen.
I've heard they get pretty camp at the end.
Super camp. If they were all like the last movie, I loved it. Let me ask you a personal question, Ryan. You don't have to answer it. How much do you spend a month on movies?
Not as much as I used to.
Okay. What's the most you've ever spent in a month?
Oh God. Probably $1,000 or $2,000 at least, yeah.
Yeah, that's about what I was gonna say. I sold most of my manga, and I sold $13,000 worth of manga, and most of that went in the movies. So, I've been really tempted to sell that Battles Without Honor and Humanity set and just get the reprint because, right. I mean, I love those movies and I love that book.
But it's literally just a book now.
It's just a book, and those people will fucking eat up. I could probably get $400 for it, I think.
Oh yeah,
easily, because that's probably the cheapest it's going to be. And also, isn't the reprint just the soft cover? Like, there's no. It's just like
I've not even talked to anybody that's gotten it, so I'm not sure.
Holy shit, Jason! Since I bought Transformers from you, which I'm going to say is about a month ago, maybe 2, you spent over $3,000. Holy fuck. Dude, every day I wake up and I feel bad because I don't message Jason as much as I should because I'm usually like working or doing something.
Right.
But he'll message me and he just shows me what he's bought. He bought every Jackie Chan release from '88 yesterday. I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing, dude?
It's because I talked him into it.
Dude, he asked me, my favorite is when like Jason will be like, "Hey, do you have any Asian era recommendations?" And I'll be like, "Hang on, I'm making 5 videos, and I'm going to show you what I like." The reprint's a small plastic case. That's not too bad. I mean, I kind of like the aesthetic of the box, but
yeah,
it is.
But do you $400 like it?
It's $400. I could probably get $450 for it, honestly.
I've been thinking of getting rid of the Gamera Limited and going for the 2 standards so that they could be a little more shelf friendly.
I just shipped out actually today my last Gamera set.
Wow.
And I'm sad. So, how much are you looking for? How much you want?
I mean, they're going for 300 plus on eBay.
I'll give you $1 and I'll ship you a pizza.
All right. So
actually, I'm gonna go on eBay and see what the Battles Without Honor and Humanity set sold for last. Oh man,
it's probably gone down a bit.
Yeah, it's gone down a lot. The box set's $200. Wait, this is weird. It's the box set, but oh, this dude's trying to sell the. It's just the box and the 5 movies. No book, no extra disc. $200.
Jeez.
There's a Battle Honor Humanity set Region B right now. It's repackaged. Never mind. I was like, damn, that's a good deal. Okay, so it looks like people are lower. Ooh, here we go. $795. That is a lot of money.
What is your most expensive single movie release that you have? Do you know?
The most money I've spent on a single movie?
The one that you have right now, what's the most the one that's worth the most?
Like box set or what?
Single movie release.
Isn't one of the Sabata movies from Kino pretty expensive? I think it.
There's some like.
Probably those right there. The Ichi and the Zatoichi with Takeshi Kitano are both out of print. Those go for like $100-$200, just insane for some reason. How about you? What's your?
Mine is I can actually reach it from here. Let me see. This thing is from the UK company Everything Blue. This had a print run of 500, and it's part of a trilogy. And the other one's got prints of like 750 or 1,000, but this one sold out super fast. This thing goes for like $650.
Why?
Because it's so rare, and because a lot of people have the Hot Fuzz and the World's End that goes with it, and so they're wanting this, but there's only 500 in the entire world, and they sold out in like 2 days. And so yeah, this is one movie, and it's like one of the raffle group we're both in. One of them was put up by the guy that runs the raffle group, and that one night it went for, I think he got it for like $620.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Well, here are some recently sold for Battles Without Honor Humanity. A opened one, 13 disc set, everything sold for $488 July 11th. So just a couple days ago. And then on July 6th, $524. Someone bought a sealed copy for that set. Oh shit! Someone sold it for $180.
Ooh.
Region B though. So,
what was crazy is after that stimulus check went out this year, there were like the Halloween collections from Scream Factory. There was one that sold for $800.
That's insane to me. I sold.
And now,
I
in the groups, it's going for like $220.
$220.
For some people, yeah, it's gone down that low.
Someone spent on May 15th $699.98 with free shipping on Battles Without Honor and Humanity. That's insane.
Imagine the audacity. You sell it for $700 and then charge them $10 shipping.
Yeah. I know some people are like, ooh, shipping's too expensive. I'm not going to do that. There's a couple of the new Battles Without Honor and Humanity that are going for that goes for anywhere between $130 and $150, it looks like. Which is a lot for 3 movies, but the most manga I sold a manga series. Granted, it's 37 volumes, but it's super out of print. $1,300.
God dang!
And that was right when the stimulus checks hit. People were just going nuts. Damn.
That's insane.
I could probably get. I mean, if I waited, played the patient game, I could probably get $500 for that.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been enticed by some of these, like the out of print the slips from Eureka, the Jackie Chan titles. Some of those just for the slip cover are like $125.
Yeah, I feel like that Snake and the Eagle Shadow next year is going to be stupid expensive.
Yep,
and it's not even a good movie. But
I love Jason says he's got movies coming from both of us right now.
I just shipped out every package but Ryan's package today. Ryan finally took that fucking Force 10 from Navarone off my hands.
You're welcome.
I don't know why I bought that.
I should have held out for $20 instead.
You probably should have. Someone offered me $15. I was like, It's that same dude I keep telling you. There's this dude in one of the groups. He seems nice, but he asks for photos of everything. The art cards,
Right.
the fucking book, the disc, everything. And I did that with I forgot what set it was, but it was when I sold my Fu Manchu set. He was like, "Hey,
There's
can you
Brian. What's up, Brian?
Brian, what's going on, buddy?" So he asked me to take I literally took 40 photos for this guy. And he goes,
Jesus.
and I'm not kidding, like of everything. He wanted the corners of all the slip of like everything. I'm like, all right. Took like 40 photos, sent it to him. He then lowballs me by 50% of what I was asking for. And what I was asking for wasn't even that much. And I was like, no, dude. And then he was like, all right, well, sorry. And then he did that again. He messaged me and he was like, hey, can you take some photos? And I just go, dude, I'm not dealing with you. Sorry. I would much rather just not sell it than fucking have to go through those hoops again.
I'll take pictures of corners, but
Yeah.
not 40.
No, not 40. Like he was like, can you lay them out? Can you make sure like the lighting's good? I'm like, dude.
No.
I'm like, all right, I guess. Because he was the only one that messaged me about the set. And I was like, all right. And then I did. And I was like, what the fuck? Just got off my flight and saw that you were live. # dedication. I don't know if I'm friends with Brian on Facebook. Am I friends with Brian on Facebook?
Now that Brian's here, we should just end for the night.
We should just end for the night. Bye, Brian.
# dedication.
# see you next week. I don't know if I'm friends with Brian. Oh well. But yeah, I'm annoyed with some of the people in that group, but everyone else is cool. I mean, Jason's awesome. You're awesome.
Brian's awesome.
I don't think I've ever talked to Brian, but I guess Brian's fucking awesome. So what's up, Brian? Matt's cool. Matt's cool as shit.
Yep.
Matt's a cool guy. Who else? Frank seems all right. Might be a little mad at me, but
Frank's great. Yeah.
Yeah, everyone else is cool. It's a cool group. It's my second favorite group of people, besides my immediate family. So how does your wife feel about all that behind you?
She pleads with me to not sell things. She doesn't want me to get rid of the things I love. Yeah. She is very happy with them. She likes discovering movies too. The hard part is she just struggles with staying awake. I mean, we've got 2 young kids, both special needs.
Jalissa's right. First is the farm. Yes. It's an anime manga group. But, sorry, go on.
So yeah, we live very busy lives. Just like you, I work a lot, and then we come home and we have kids, and life is hard. We live out in the Kansas City area, but no real family or friends to help support. So it's all us 24/7. We had in, I think, March of this year, we had 2 nights away from the kids for the first time in 6.5 years since they were born.
Jesus.
So, yeah.
My wife has not had a single day away from our daughter in 3 years.
Yeah.
I've had days away because they've gone to Florida before the COVID hit. And that was, I gotta be honest, I missed the shit out of them. Like, I was like, the sleep was great. Sleep was awesome, but I missed the shit out of them whenever they were gone, especially with my daughter. She's awesome. I love being a dad, but it does suck because, I mean, I'm working sometimes 16-hour days, and it's just like, it's fucking insane. And then on top of it, I want time with my wife and kid, but you also have to have you time, or else you'd go crazy.
Right.
And
that's my big thing that I'm focusing on. I didn't have that for literally like the first 5.5 years after we had kids. I never took any time for myself. And I did the same thing. I poured everything into work. And then when I was off work, I poured everything into family.
And now movies. Now we have a big ass movie collection, which honestly, I feel like movies are, I feel like out of every hobby I've ever been in, I feel like it's the best hobby, because getting a full experience in a few hours is like so awesome after being in the anime and manga, where it's like, hey, I'm dedicating a month to one thing. But like now, like I'm watching at least 4 movies a week, which is awesome, maybe more.
because my dad won a big screen TV in a raffle, so he put it in the restaurant. So we have like this big ass HD TV in the back of the pizza place, and I just bought a second Blu-ray player. Just bring movies to work and make pizzas. We have no one in the dining room because it's closed, so we're making pizzas and making veggies and chopping shit up every day and just watching mostly what my dad wants to watch, which is like Zero Dark 30 and Yellowstone. Loves that.
I got promoted in August of 2019, so I've been a supervisor since then. But before then, I was literally most days watching 2 or 3 movies while working myself, just sitting at a desk while doing my work on another monitor, and that was perfect. I miss those days. I still have like YouTube stuff on in the background. Like I'll listen to the video you put up this morning while I'm working, and it's something. It's not like unfortunately can't watch Seven Samurai or something where you got to pay attention to subtitles and stuff like that. But I can do a lot still. But yeah, now that I'm a supervisor, it's so much more difficult to pay attention.
Sometimes I'll put like if I really want to watch like a martial arts movie, I'll have to put the dub on, and most of the time those are terrible. So my dad just thinks, he's like, "Where are these fucking movies are so stupid?" And it's like, well, it's because we're listening to the awful English dub,
right? That can't act.
But it's also kind of the charm of some of those movies. Like, there's a really good YouTube channel. I listen to YouTube most of the time when I'm working. I actually do that too. I have YouTube Red. I pay for the. I love it. Just being able to put a movie in my pocket, watch, listen to your videos, listen to other friends' videos.
Yeah.
It's just so nice. But there's a YouTube channel called Wu-Tang Collection, and they upload just martial arts movies. No big studio titles. They upload the whole movie. And then there's another channel that I recently discovered. I gotta get the name of this right. I hope they never get shut down. Where is it at? Oh, it looks like he might have actually got taken down. Shit. But anyways, there was a YouTube channel that was uploading every episode of the Lone Wolf and Cub and Zatoichi TV series. So for a while there, I was watching the stuff that I was missing from the DVD sets that came out here. So, which is 100 episodes of Zatoichi. 100.
Jeez.
And then I think 77 Lone Wolf and Cub episodes. But did I tell you about the unofficial Yojimbo cinematic universe?
Yeah, we were talking about that before.
I think I'm gonna do a video on it because it's like my favorite idea. It's just such a cool.
That's idea. A good series.
It's Yojimbo Sanjuro, Zatoichi, because Yojimbo is in Lone Wolf. He's in Zatoichi, so all those Zatoichi films are a part of the series. And then the One-Armed Swordsman is in one of the movies. So all the One-Armed Swordsman movies. Then the Dollars trilogy. But the cool thing is, Ogami Ito appears in the background of one of the Zatoichi television series. So the Lone Wolf and Cub movies are a part of it, and then Incident and Blood Pass. So you have all of these. And when I saw that on Letterboxd, I was like, "That's such a cool fucking idea. That's such a cool, like, unofficial thing." So I love that. I think that's awesome.
That's hilarious.
There's also a guy that's just uploading spaghetti westerns on YouTube.
Nice.
And I don't know the channel's name, but it's his name. It's like a guy's name. And it's just, he's got his picture as the profile pic, and he's just uploading these like unknown movies. And it's awesome. I love that. Korean Film Archive too. Yep. Don't they put out Blu-rays? I feel like Korean Film Archive also puts out limited edition Blu-rays.
You think about Plain Archive?
Maybe I am thinking Plain Archive.
Because they're from Korea, I believe.
So do you still have the goal of writing? So I was writing a book for a while. No, that drained me. I compiled a list of, because I'm a huge fan of mecha, just a huge fan of like giant robot anime. And I compiled a list. It took me months of every mecha show ever made. From the beginning of anime to I think my cutoff point was 2019, and I had a complete list, and then I had a complete list of shows that weren't mecha focused, but they could kind of be in that. And then my goal was to watch at least 20% of each show, and then do like a paragraph on it. and I got like over 50 shows logged, and I was like,
Good
I can't do this
God.
anymore. I can't do this anymore. It's just
That's a lot.
it's a lot, and I feel like it would be more fun to write about a single movie or like a movie franchise more than just a genre as a whole, because
Right.
that is tough. Like it drained me. I was like, I'm done. I don't think I'm ever going to do that. Maybe I'll return to
could-
it.
I could see you doing some of the Arrow style books, or at least excerpts for some of them.
I would love to get into that kind of work. That would be so cool to just do that as like a side
Yeah.
gig. But I don't even know where to begin.
With the stuff you and I've been talking about the site.
Yeah, we need to do for real. We should really do it. Ryan and I have been talking about starting a website where we review just Blu-ray releases, and I really want to do that. That would be awesome. Just do deep dives. We can have like Throwback Thursday. Just pull an old release out of the shelf.
Yep.
Do a review on it.
Speaking of, speaking of, this is going to be a crazy year. Every YouTuber, every podcast, there's always what are your 10 favorite physical media releases for 2021? This is going to be such a tough year to go, well, what the hell do I pick? I mean, every single company is putting banger after banger. This is so hard.
Yeah, right now, I mean, we already talked about our 5 so far.
Yeah.
But right now, I feel like if they don't fuck up that Shaw set, that's mine. And then I can't even think, like Vintage Trails. That's up there. The Good, the Bad, the Ugly 4K is really good. And then Eureka. Jesus, Eureka is putting out One Arm Boxer is probably my favorite thing this year so far. And The Duel of Death is a great movie, so I can't wait for that. But yeah, last year I had Brian Sauer and Aaron on. We did top 10 releases, and there was no crossover at all, which is insane. So this year it'll probably be me, you, and then those two again, because they said they would come back next year. And
Nice.
we do a top 10. I think that was like a 2-hour stream. Which this is a 2-hour stream, so
Yeah.
and we're just shooting the shit. So, but yeah, I mean, the Battle Royale 4K release is great. I'm just looking. I mean, I would say Major Dundee, but I'm not too emotionally attached to that movie. I just think it's all right.
You just got me thinking too about big releases for this year. If Criterion really does go into 4K, I could easily see it coming out in October, because that is the 25th anniversary of Mulholland Drive.
Is it really?
Yeah. Or 20th anniversary.
What do you think the price is going to be? That's what I want to know. Do you think it's going to be $60?
I do.
Fucking hell. Oh, no.
Yeah, I agree with Dave there. You could do a top 5 to 10 per label.
I just got my shipping notification. That one,
I did too.
If they do a good job on that, that'll be on that list.
Yep.
Jason, there's no way it's $40.
The blues are already 40.
Yeah, the Blu-rays are 40.
Jason, he is talking about MSRP, which means sale price is half of that. I could maybe see $49.99, but even then, it would, for Criterion, it would most likely have to be dual format, Blu-ray and 4K.
Yep.
And I just don't see them doing that at 50.
It's gonna be 60.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a $60 release, or I could even see them do 75. They will.
Jesus Christ.
I could see it 75.
Well, and for some of these, like the Vinegar Syndrome super deep dive 4K releases, the MSRP is literally like 60 or 65. And then you get them on sale and they're like 35 or 40. And that makes sense for a smaller label like that. And it's a great 4K disc, but Criterion's got a lot to prove.
They do. And I'm not going to buy it because I don't like Mulholland Drive. So I'm not excited.
Right.
And when they said American film, because I was hoping they were going to do Seven Samurai, because that would be incredible. But I mean, Ron's getting a 4K. So
yep.
The Steelbook for Best Buy leaked. I personally think it looks good. Some people are like,
it looks great. Yeah.
So I'm going to be buying that. That's apparently super limited. So that sucks. But yeah, I mean, I'm super excited. They will have extras. I bet they'll have extras, but their encoding lately has been not good. And with how
Well,
some of the movies have looked, they've looked like
Yeah.
like Memories of Murder looks awful.
have
Like,
you?
just awful.
I don't have this one yet. Did you get the Parasite from Criterion as well? Is it the same? Because that's what I'm hearing.
Parasite looks great. Parasite's
Okay,
fine.
I'm hearing.
Parasite looks
I
great,
had heard Parasite had the same green tint.
but the problem with Parasite is that when it came out, there was already a 4K that was just available.
Right.
So, no, Parasite looks great. It has, and I think it has the black and white version of that too,
Yes.
which also looks good.
And the 4K does have it, but it's only on the Blu-ray disc, not on the 4K disc.
So, I mean, Criterion, just nothing this year has really just been impressive. The two things I got this year, Wong Kar-wai and Memories of Murder, have both been severely disappointing. Snake Girl and the Silver Witch Hair is coming out too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Arrow, right?
Yes.
That's also, I think that's Daiei. So they're doing some deep cuts in the Daiei catalog. So fingers crossed for some more good stuff. And hopefully more Kenji Fukasaku, because they were supposed to do, what's that movie called? Proxy War or something more? They were supposed to do another Yakuza film from Fukasaku, and they never did. So, but maybe they're going to get ready and do one because they're putting out re-releases out of the blue. Like,
Maybe.
Why did it take 5 years to put out Battles Without Honor Humanity again?
Well, think about that logically. The license probably ran out and they probably renegotiated it. And then based on the 5-year license, which is the most common license length for a movie like that, they, just to not piss people off, said, we can't release the same thing and have the book and all that. So we have to make it just a standard edition.
Which I kind of get. I mean, it's nice for people who did get it right away to have
Right.
something, something that's worth $600 almost. But man, someone said there was a rumor for a while that it was going to be a 4K Battles Without Honor Humanity set, and I was like, how fucking expensive is that going to be? Also, yeah, Criterion has a lot to prove because now that I'm thinking about it, Arrow's 4Ks have just been phenomenal. So, and they're not expensive. They're $40.
And what's crazy is when you start comparing these boutique Blu-ray labels, Arrow's 4Ks are mostly phenomenal, but I think they're number 4 if I were ranking quality of 4K releases, in my opinion, based on the label.
I mean, I would rank them 1 on mine just because they're the only boutique I think I own that has. I think Kino's got a couple, but I like Arrow's choices. I like Old Boy.
Yep.
I like Django, and I like King of New York. So I think those picks are great.
And Crash too.
Oh yeah, Crash. Oh yeah, I forgot about Crash. That's that movie made me extremely horny. I watched that without I forgot how just ridiculous that movie is, and I sat down and I was like, man, this movie is kind of sexy. What is going on?
My wife had asked me one night, what should we watch tonight? I was like, well, have you ever heard somebody slam on their brakes and immediately thought, I need to go spend some time alone?
What did she say?
She's like, no, but now I'm intrigued. And then we ended up watching it.
Did she like it?
For the most part, yeah. The ending got a little weird for her, but yeah.
My wife would not like that movie. She would be like, what is this? It's basically a porno.
Yeah.
I still think Eastern Promises is the best Cronenberg movie, which that's getting a 4K from Kino too.
Yep.
So hopefully it's good. Hopefully they don't last second go, hey, which cut should we put out? Should we? Very last second, just be like, hey, we still are making decisions a month before.
We have 12 minutes to decide this.
Guys, the release comes out tomorrow. Which one do you want? God, they're such a weird company.
Yeah.
They're solid, they're consistent, but then they just do random weird shit. I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. Entertain the chat a little bit, talk about Vinegar Syndrome's amazing 4Ks, because they do amazing 4Ks.
They do great, but really, Brian just brought up the answer. Best 4K game in all of these boutique labels is Blue Underground. I mean, the only label that you can go watch a shark fighting a zombie underwater in beautiful 4K And I got to say, Zombie looks amazing in 4K. For anybody who has not picked it up, my God, I would never think that movie could get that sort of treatment. And it's obvious that they put so much time and effort into that 4K. There's stuff removed from that movie that has been in every single cut that they've had for years. And the 4K restoration that they did a couple years ago that only came out on Blue, it looked great, but even still, that new 4K upgrade is a massive change. And really, the big difference is that HDR, because with some of these, I agree, Brian. As soon as I think they did RoboCop, what year was that? End of 2018 that they did RoboCop, and so they had not done any 4K releases yet. I could totally see them re-releasing RoboCop in 4K now. Jason says, I love Zombie. Watched it for the first time in 4K. Shot up to my top 3 favorite zombie movie ever. That one, especially with that being your intro to that, that would make it that case for me. I don't know what else you would say is top 3 with that, but it's probably top 5 for me for sure. That's Zombie's a huge genre nowadays, especially. But
no, don't do that.
I wish we would get some RoboCop in 4K though, Brian. That would be great. And honestly, I wish they'd go back and do the entire trilogy in well, they probably wouldn't do 2 and 3 in 4K, but it would probably also have to be UK release only, not in the States, because Shout still has RoboCop 3. I'm not sure, is RoboCop 2 even in print anymore? Anyways, that'd be a fun one in 4K for that entire trilogy. But yeah, my ranking on 4K is probably Blue Underground number 1, Vinegar Syndrome's probably number 2, and then honestly, Severin is probably number 3, and I've only watched one of their releases so far, so that's probably a little biased. Probably not enough to get that actually measured. I need to watch that other De La Iglesia title. Jason says I like
it too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's my number 1.
Even though I don't like the stuff that they put out in 4K, one, it's impressive. I think it's impressive what them and Vinegar Syndrome are releasing in 4K. Like, it just blows my mind.
Yeah.
I would say Keto's probably at the bottom, but they've only done 1 or 2 so far.
I don't think I've seen any of their 4K titles yet. I have not Night of the Living Dead. I was going off of what Jason said. I've not seen The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly in 4K yet.
It looks good. It looks good, but it doesn't have HDR, and neither does the Mad Max. So it's like the 4K is fine, but there's no HDR.
Do any of their 4K titles have HDR?
Nope.
Because I think they've done 4 now.
I know for sure Mad Max and the Good, Bad, and Ugly do not.
Damn.
And I feel like HDR is what really makes 4K pop.
Yeah, that's what I was saying about Zombie, for sure.
And I think that's what makes Oldboy pop, too, because Oldboy is a great movie. And for a movie that's so dark, that's so dark.
It's muted. Yeah.
It's muted, but in the 4K, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
They finally fixed the coloring on the transfer. Yeah, I think that's the big selling point for The Good, the Bad, the Ugly, is that it looks good, but for 4K, you have to have HDR, in my opinion. And
absolutely.
Without it, it just seems like, why not just put out a Blu-ray?
Well, and these things, this is going to sound silly because I don't even have the setup for it, but for all these 4K releases, if you're going to put the money into an actual 4K scan that's brand new, you should be doing HDR on it. And then on top of that, you should, if you can, do a full Atmos sound for it as well. That's the big thing. I mean, if we're going to do the highest quality, do the highest quality.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have the Atmos sound set up. Is there any sound bars that are Dolby Atmos sound bars?
There are faux Atmos sound bars. They throw sound up so it reflects off your ceiling, but it's very difficult to do properly through a sound bar.
Okay. Because I'm thinking about just because we have like an apartment, so I'm thinking about just getting a sound bar and hooking up to the TV, but I don't know how that would. Are sound bars good? Like, do they sound good?
I mean, they sound better than the TV, but like my main sound that I use is literally just the TV. I like I said, 2 young kids. My my kids play in the living room, man. And my oldest, he is a sports fiend, so he literally plays baseball in our living room. I can't have him hitting like a $300 center speaker or something like that and ruining it. It worries me enough that I've got a TV mounted to the wall.
Is there any Dolby Atmos headphones?
Yes, I do believe there are a couple that mimic him fairly well.
I'm thinking about getting a pair of like wireless headphones for movies.
Obviously, it can't be perfect because you don't have the full surround, but it does mimic it pretty well.
If any of you guys know of any, link it to me and I will check it out. I love this conversation more than words. Really? Thanks, Brian. I don't know if that's sarcasm or not.
It's Brian. It's not.
So that's probably, I mean, this is what we do every week. We just sit here. We usually have a topic. We talk about the topic for about 45 minutes, and then we get sidetracked, and then we never return. And there's a point where it's like, should we go back and talk about Shaw Brothers? Nah, let's just keep going. We should both watch this. And
oh God, no.
Oh, dude, it's so awesome. Tom Berenger.
We should both watch Double Team.
Zane.
Remember, I'm Billy Zane. I'm going to see in person this weekend.
Why?
He's going to be at the horror convention I'm going to in Kansas City.
Can I mail this to you real quick and have him sign it?
Overnight the Sniper collections. Have Billy Zane sign it.
Billy Zane, you're only in one of these, but can you sign this DVD, please? Oh, Jesus.
He is expensive. To get a selfie with Billy Zane and a signature is $80.
I feel like I paid $20 for Patrick Stewart.
He is Billy Zane is the main headliner of this con, though. They had some of their bigger names drop out, unfortunately.
What's your 4K white whale? Is there any 4K white whales right now? Is there stuff that's out of print?
Or maybe you're saying just a tile that's not on 4K yet that we would love to have on 4K.
That's a good question. I would really like Seven Samurai, but I think a movie that would look even better. I think that's more. I mean, Seven Samurai is my favorite movie, but I think a movie that's more the same era, that's more cinema. I mean, I feel like the cinematography is a lot better. It would really benefit is Harakiri. I think Harakiri would look incredible in 4K.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Is it a digital 4K scan? I feel like Memories of a Murder, if they fucking redid that and did it in 4K, it would look amazing. But no, it looks like shit. It just looks like they were like, yeah, let's make Memories of the Murder something from the Matrix.
Right.
Lost Boys and 13th Warrior. Honestly,
Lost Boys needs it.
I would really like any Shaw title to get 4K, but it won't happen with how bad Hong Kong preserved all their films. But that would be incredible. But yeah. What about you? What's something you want?
I would probably go for something like the Black Christmas, the original Black Christmas. I love that movie, but there are a lot of scenes there. It's very dark.
Isn't that your favorite movie, or is that Aaron Pinn's favorite movie?
That's Aaron Pinn's favorite movie.
Okay. I knew it was someone's favorite movie. I was like,
I do love that movie though, and I do think it would benefit really well. Especially, I mean, it's a Christmas movie too. There's a bunch of Christmas lights. There's all kinds of snow, everything. That movie would look great. But there's the biggest thing is the blacks in HDR, which a lot of people don't understand if they've never seen on a good setup what HDR can do for dark movies.
Yes,
but Black Christmas
Old Boy is the perfect example of that.
Yes, completely.
Looks insane.
Like,
and I almost didn't buy that. I was like, no, it's not. There's like not color, but man,
the attic scenes in Black Christmas, I could see benefiting really well from that 4K HDR.
Yes, we are, Brian. We are both really excited for Shaw Brothers. I would say probably me more so, just because I'm the bigger martial arts fan. But I'm excited to see Ryan see some of these movies. Like, I'm excited to talk to him.
I can't wait.
Some of these. So, oh yeah, it looks so good. in 4K Asian movie enthusiasts. Wait, which one? 13th Warrior?
13th Warrior.
Supposed to be coming soon. They released it in theaters a short run not too long ago. The Lost Boys. Damn. I really like The Lost Boys. Whatever happened to movies like that? Like The Warriors, Lost. Wait, we need a Warriors release. Why isn't there a good Warriors release? What the fuck?
Because it's Paramount.
That's a great movie. Quit releasing this shit, Paramount. I see some of the stuff you guys announced. And I'm like, really? What the fuck is that? Why?
But the big thing is they're putting out catalog titles now, and they weren't for years. And COVID came, and they went, "Oh yeah, we have a catalog of movies that people might want to give us money for." And suddenly, everything is getting a release. So could be coming.
Did someone just buy Paramount, or are they still independent?
No, Paramount,
MGM.
I believe, is still independent.
MGM got bought, right?
Yeah.
By Jeff Bezos. Awesome.
Unfortunately.
I love Jeff Bezos, greatest American. Greatest American. He's going to space. I can't wait. Just
wish
love
he'd
it.
stay there.
There's someone out there that's just like a massive Bezos fan. There has to be, right? Like if every movie is someone's favorite movie, every famous person is someone's favorite famous person.
I bet his ex-wife is pretty happy with him.
She actually seems like a good person. She's donating a
Yeah.
lot of her money to charities and trying to help the shit. She got so much stock out of the divorce that she can't give it away fast enough. She's making more money being divorced.
Yep. Brian says From Beyond in 4K. That would be incredible. Also reminded me, speaking of zombie movies, what I think is my favorite zombie movie. I would love to see Day of the Dead from George Romero. in
Day of the
4K.
Dead's your favorite zombie movie.
I believe so.
That's a good movie. That's a pretty like unique pick for a favorite zombie
Yeah.
movie. Who is releasing Legend 1985? Arrow, right?
It is Arrow.
And it's not 4K, and there's a reason for it, right?
And they went into great detail on it. I really wish we would get some of that detail on some of these other titles.
Like why they only did that version of
Why they can't do 4K, yeah.
I wonder what. Wait, yeah, we're getting close to the last Friday of the month, so I wonder what their October titles are going to be.
It's going to be a big deal. October is huge for Arrow.
Oh,
Huge
yeah,
for
that's right.
Factory.
Horror movies. Oh,
Woo! I'm
I'm excited. I'm excited. I would love if they did not put out a single horror movie in October. They were just like, Yakuza movies. Here you go, guys. And it's just like, yes. But they'll probably be. I mean, what? The well's got to be drying up in horror, right? Like, there's so many labels that are just cranking out horror releases. I don't
Not
get
even
it.
close.
Not even close. But at what point are you just going to be like, yeah, I'm collecting shitty movies now? Like, bottom of the barrel.
Probably about 8 years ago. No, I'm just kidding.
Now,
Yeah.
Now, is there, since like you're so balls deep in Vinegar Syndrome, is there like, are you just like, I'm buying this just to have a complete collection?
For sure, like a lot of the adult titles ended up that way. And the only reason I even went for that is because I Puppet Master in 4K. Fuck me. I had subscribed for a few years straight, and then just through picking up like the old Blu-rays that they put out, I paid attention to what I had, and I wish every label did this. I don't even know if you know this, but they have a checklist on their site for everything they've ever put out. So I went and logged everything that I had purchased, and it was literally like 85% of everything they'd ever released. At that point, I mean, you might as well. So,
and I agree with Eric. There's a lot of international horror movies.
oh, for sure. Like, speaking of that, I would love to have Let the Right One In 4K.
Yo, that's a good movie. That's great. I would love to see Vinegar Syndrome start doing. They announced a spaghetti western
From a partner label.
Okay,
Well, unless you're talking about Six String Samurai, which is not a spaghetti western.
No,
but
that's whatever the fuck that is. I don't even know. That's just
yes.
But I would love to see, because Vinegar Syndrome, in my opinion, their packaging is insanely good, like insane. I wish they would start doing stuff that's more tailored towards my taste, or a company to mimic them, because they're just like they're putting like Scanner Cop, really, like 4K top. It looks beautiful.
And Scanner Cop 2 in 4K as well.
Yeah, Scanner Cop 2 in 4K. Why? Okay, but I like it. When I read this from Brian, I read that Ray is my favorite Romano, and I was like, I I was like, what?
Oh,
yeah.
perfect.
But I feel like international horror is untouched, especially Indonesia has a lot of great horror movies. We only know pretty much, The Ring, the stuff that Mike did.
Yep.
Just so much untapped potential there. But I feel like there's untapped potential for a lot of genres besides horror movies, because there's just,
Oh, for sure.
at what point, like I said, at what point are you just going to be scraping the barrel? You got Blue Underground, Vinegar Syndrome, Severin. I feel like Severin's like the super trashiest of the horror labels. Like the stuff they put out, I'm just like, what? And I bought what was it? What, Blood on Satan's Claw? I think is what it was called. I bought that because everyone was like, "This is going to be the release of the year. You got to get this." So I bought it and I watched it. And I was like, "What the fuck? Why? Like, what was this movie? What?" And then their Jess Franco stuff. I don't even understand that guy. I do not understand Jess Franco. And
Jess
Aaron
Franco's
Penn
pretty great.
loves him.
Yep.
What? He's great?
He's pretty great. Yeah.
What the? No. I do not like
He has a lot of duds, but he's got a lot of great ones too.
Is he just like, where's he from?
He is fully Italian, I believe.
Oh, he's Italian? So
I think so.
It's probably the only bad thing Italy's ever done. Just, I mean, I probably like Mussolini better than Franco. But, is he just Italian Takashi Miike? Like,
I mean, there's a couple of them. Like Fulci is the same way, kind of, but Fulci has better output, in my opinion. Fulci and Franco both had literally like 175 plus movies that they each made.
Jesus Christ! I'm gonna look up Jess Franco's filmography. Jess Franco. He's Spanish.
Oh, he is Spanish?
Rocks. Hell yeah. Love Italy. I'm just kidding. We're on a roll, dude. We're on a roll.
Back to screw Mussolini.
No, I mean, yeah, sure. Man, Jess Franco looked rough, and he scored approximately 173 feature films.
Wow, I was very close.
You were 2 away. Holy fuck. 173 movies.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And he pretty much never stopped smoking until the day he died.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a true Spaniard / Italian. That's
absolutely
Spanish filmmaker, composer, and actor, better known as prolific director of stylish exploitation and B movies.
He is so well known for smoking that Severin put out a Christmas tree topper of Jess Franco holding a cigarette.
That's awesome. Hey, that's fucking dedication, man. You know, he died at what age? 82.
He was, yeah.
I mean,
that was not a short life.
My grandfather smoked until he died, and he was 88. So it's like,
jeez. Italians
just built different, you know?
I've never smoked in my life. I'll probably die on Tuesday.
Neither have I. My parents smoke around me, and I'm like, fucking stop.
Oh, so then you're safe, yeah.
I'm safe. Which apparently smoking is like helps against COVID. Did you hear that?
No.
Like smoking coats your lungs and disgusting shit, and it helps against COVID. So it's like my parents were like, "Yeah, see, told you, this is good for something." I'm like, you're an idiot. Stop that.
Can't get COVID. I've got cancer.
Oh, sweet Jesus. Oh man. Is that Divine Fury any good from Welgo? I haven't seen Welgo's on a pretty good roll this year too.
They've gone under the radar a lot, but yeah.
Would they be boutique?
For them, I'd say it almost depends on the title. There are some things that just get fast tracked to Walmart, but other titles they've somehow put a lot of time and energy into it.
Newport vaccine. Because they did the Swordsman, which I really liked, Crazy Samurai Musashi, and Delivers from Evil. which have all been solid movies that I've seen this year.
And even didn't they do the Ip Man trilogy in 4K?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, that's right. They did do that, and that's a great box set.
Yeah.
The moment I finished my Zatoichi video, I was like, I have to find the Swordsman. Where is it? Because I couldn't find it. It was not in my Wellgo pile. So I looked everywhere. Like I tore as you can tell, my shelves are kind of like fucked up right now because I literally was looking everywhere for it. Went out in the living room, was looking in drawers. It was on my desk underneath this love note my wife left me. I was like, God, it's been sitting there for the whole time. Was Fulci a smoker?
I believe so.
He's Italian in the 70s and 60s. Yeah. He smoked.
Yeah.
He smoked cigarettes. He did
heavily.
He did 100% did coke. I've been doing nothing but playing old Italian hits since we've won Wembley and so I've just been playing this. It's Gloria by Umberto Tozzi. Oh, dude, it's so good. My wife's like, turn this shit off now.
Every time you play it, she goes, Silenzio Bruno.
My favorite thing is when we would have customers in the dining room, like when we're still open for dining room, my mom would talk to her mom, and when Italians talk to each other, it's loud, and people would be like, "What the fuck's going on?" I'll be like, to like kind of like make the situation funny, I'd be like, "Will you quit speaking communist language, please? This is America." And she'd be like, "Fuck off, no." The Sopranos movie's coming out. Yeah, it's officially Italian Boy Summer this year. I'm so excited.
It truly is.
Italy had a rough go with COVID. Like I have a lot of family out there that were just like really affected by it. So, Divine Fury is more of a traditional exorcism movie. The final 20 minutes
interesting.
is an action movie.
What an odd combination.
Hell yeah, that sounds right up my alley. Where is it? There's a movie, Nine Demons. I think I talked about it on my Shaw Brothers video. It's like a pseudo Vitamom film, but it's a straight up horror movie with some martial arts in it. I really like that Shaw does that. Like the Human Lanterns horror movie, just has some kung fu in it. It's awesome. But do you want to go and wrap it up? 2 hours and 41 minutes.
Whenever you want.
Let's do it because I still gotta go clean the kitchen at the restaurant. So.
Oh God!
I have to.
And I gotta wake up for work in 6 hours.
So we will see you next week. Now, did you pick the movie I'm gonna watch?
No. Damn it. Man, what is a good? I kind of want to give you something trashy, but I want to give it something good too. But I also don't know what you've seen and haven't seen.
I thought that one tape series looked good. What's that
Fear
called?
Footage.
Fear Footage. I guess I'll watch Fear Footage, and then
watch Fear Footage.
And then you're gonna watch 8 Diagram.
You know what? That's actually a good idea. I should make you buy New York Ripper in 4K from Blue Underground and review that one.
New York Ripper.
Yeah, it's a Fulci movie, and it's probably his sleaziest movie ever.
New York Ripper.
Even the cover is pretty sleazy.
Oh Jesus! The most controversial horror film ever made. Oh, it's only an hour and 30. All right, I'm gonna order it, and then we'll talk about it next week. So we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for staying for the full. Jesus Christ, almost 2 hours and 45 minutes. But it doesn't feel like 2:45. That's the problem. Me and Ryan just have good chemistry, and it's fun. So, anyways, guys, talk to you next week. Peace.
See ya.